All right. What is going on, everybody? And welcome on in to a brand new episode of the Cinema Lords podcast. Episode number 15, and it is hard to believe, but we are already at Thanksgiving week. The time has absolutely flown by. As you guys can see, I got my robe on. I got my nice boozy coffee to keep me energized throughout this show. I'm getting into the holiday spirit, you know what I mean? With a robe and a coffee.
It's hard not to. You got the tree up already, too?
Already got the tree up. I love the holiday season. I'm ready for the winter. This is the time of year where I thrive. And that might just coincide with our with the mood for the show tonight.
The cold darkness.
Yeah, that's right. Episode 15. It does, actually. It's perfect. It's a perfect setting. Episode 15, I was saying, I texted the boys first thing this morning. Episode 15 tonight marks the first chapter, first new page in a new chapter. First page in a new chapter. Start of a new regime. I was saying that this show so far, I've been very focused on the positives. Everything that we've watched, I've been trying to be happy-go-lucky, make the show a nice positive, like let's all talk about the things we enjoy. And I've been trying to, brush a lot of the negatives under the rug.
You can only do it for so long.
I'm done with doing that, yeah. The honeymoon phase of the show is over. I'm ready to start slinging it. I got some mud to sling, and I know it's probably not going to be everyone's opinion. I know I'm going to go against the grain a little bit here. Some of you guys might not like me for it, but I'm ready to sling it a little bit tonight because I got some things I want to talk about. But we have a lot to dive into, you know what I mean? We got Andor episode 11. We're going to be reviewing All Quiet on the Western Front. I checked out a couple of the new Christmas movies that came straight to streaming, both Spirit and A Christmas Story Christmas. Checked out both of those. We're going to talk a little White Lotus. We're going to talk a little 1899. A lot to dive into. But before we start flying through all of that, first things first, let's go around the horn. We got the usual squad of late, the usual suspects, back and better than ever. On the ones and twos, you know him very well at this point, our aficionado of Westeros, Mr. Luke Kleinen. Lukey, baby, how we doing?
Doing well. Yeah, good to be back. We've got a great lineup of stuff to talk about.
We sure do.
I'm interested to see where you're taking this rage right now. I can feel it from across the room, but you've been keeping it close to your chest, so we'll see. Let's see how it goes.
It's going to be a fun time. I have a feeling it's going to be a good show. And then my co-host this evening, again, you know him very well at this point, the utility man himself. He does it all, Mr. Seth Rogers. Sethy, what's going on, baby?
What's going on? I'm a little bit nervous going into this because a lot of the stuff that we talked about watching I liked and actually enjoyed, so it's nice that somebody's going to come in and take an absolute steaming dump on it. But yeah, I feel like that's what makes a better podcast. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's all hold hands and say, everything we watch is awesome.
I agree.
Like, no, let's take the gloves off and let's fight a little bit here. Let's get
it on. I agree. I think so.
Get it on!
First things first, I wanted to mention again, we're doing our giveaway contest. We're rushing to 100 subscribers on the YouTube page. So if you are someone that watches on the YouTube and you have not made an account or you haven't hit that subscribe button, take 2 seconds to make an account or 2 seconds to smash that subscribe button. And if you are someone that usually listens on whether it be iTunes, Spotify, whatever it is, just take 2 seconds, go onto YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and you will instantly be entered into the giveaway. The first 100 people are going to be entered. That's the race to 100, and it's a $40 AMC gift card as the prize. So nice little giveaway contest for the listeners. Now that that's out of the way, I wanted to start nice and light. We mentioned the holiday spirit. I mentioned the 2 Christmas movies I checked out. Christmas Story Christmas. I'm going to start there because that was the bad. I didn't have high expectations going in, obviously. You know what I mean? Christmas Story Christmas, but it was very meh.
Meh is honestly more than I thought anybody would give it, for that matter. So
it wasn't awful.
Yeah.
I've seen much worse movies. You know what I mean?
Not like a forced.
It was
sequel.
What the biggest thing for them was is it was such a heavy play on all of the nostalgia in every single scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like there's no scene that's even remotely original. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, here's this person. Hey, here's this person. Hey, remember this scene? It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. It's almost like a match. There's a ton of flashbacks and stuff like that to the original movie. There was 1 or 2 times where I did genuinely actually fucking laugh out loud. So I got that. I gave it away. I gave it 5.2. Gave it a holiday boost though. If you give it the holiday movie 6,
in the giving spirits.
6.1. You know what I mean? Because you got to rate holiday movies a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's not really, masterpieces or anything. They're made for a reason. So yeah, you do got to give it a little added boost. Can't be on the same playing field as how we viewed Black Panther and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. Give it a little holiday boost. But even then, still, just could have skipped it. Could have been without it.
I plan to, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Very just like I said, just overly done to this nostalgia. Like I said, nothing original about it really. Like, you know what I mean? There was no like story that they were almost telling on their own. Everything just felt like they just constantly kept going back to the original movie. Like the whole thing, the plot, everything was just constantly just like going back to the original.
Yeah, like it was half a remake almost.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very strange. He was like doing the same like the monologue, the whole movie, which just felt weird. I don't know. It just didn't play for me that well.
Tongue gets stuck to a cold pole.
They like referenced that a bunch, like because like I think the kid that gets his tongue stuck to the pole owns a bar now inside in the town, like a big towny bar kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's still got like the kid that like dared him to do it is like a regular there, and he's like running up tabs all the time, which is pretty funny. There was some aspects to it. Like I said, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But like I said, that was kind of the not so good one. The one I was actually more surprised with, went into it kind of same thing, not the super high standards, was Spirited. Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell, their own take on A Christmas Carol, which, I mean, there's been 2 billion different Christmas carols done.
Right.
This one was actually like an original take,
Yep.
which I liked. While being a musical, it wasn't like overly musical. It's like a 2-hour-long movie. It's like, I'd say 45 minutes of singing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So still just a lot of regular like dialogue and stuff like that. I gotta say, first time in a while that Will Ferrell's made me laugh. And I was definitely surprised. I was watching it with Steph, and I looked over. I was like, I think he's the better singer. Obviously, there's a ton of the
Voiced over or whatever. Yeah, he's dubbing it.
A lot of work's been done to both of their voices for sure.
Yeah.
But even with all that said, I was like, I think Will Ferrell's the better singer. He's doing some more. Seemed like he let more balls almost, kind of just like let it rip. But Ryan Reynolds seemed a little conservative. Like he didn't necessarily feel too confident in singing and stuff like that. But I usually like enjoy some. If I'm in the right mood, I like enjoy a musical. And this one, I thought all the music pieces were fucking awesome. Because like they weren't they were all like, none of them were just like actor or actress like singing like by themselves with no one else in the room. They were all like these huge set pieces with all these like dances and shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Just,
so all of them were like very fun.
Unless you're doing it over like a play, you know what I mean? Like if you're doing like Chicago or something, then obviously you have to West Side Story. You have to do it the right way.
Yep.
So
those don't play for me as much. Like,
this
one was cool. This one was this was just like a good time. All the music places I was kind of like, all right, let's go, man. We're all dance. Everyone's going crazy. Oh shit. The star of the show, fucking Tracy Morgan. Like I said, Christmas Carol remake. He plays the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
nice.
So they do him as like straight up out of like Family Guy, like the Grim Reaper death.
Yeah.
But it's just Tracy Morgan's voice coming through.
Can you tell it's him?
It's just Tracy Morgan's voice coming through.
Right, so you wouldn't tell if it wasn't for the voice. Like, there's no.
He looks awesome. It's just a total Grim Reaper, but it's just his voice coming through, and it's all like his mannerisms and shit still. Right. And they throw him into like a bunch of the backgrounds on the dance scene, so you just see him doing whatever the dance moves are and shit. Nice. It had me fucking dying. That one I came away and I was like, that was damn entertaining. Like I'll gladly watch that one again like Christmas time.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Ferrell and Christmas movies, to me, they don't get along. I don't know if we'll do. I'm sure we'll do a Christmas movie, themed episode at some point. But
yes, we're starting to put that in the works.
God, Elf is just one of the most overrated movies of my entire generation.
It's a terrible take.
I don't want to start a whole nother argument,
it's
but
absolutely terrible.
I can't get into it. I don't know what it is. I can't get into it.
It's an insane take.
Couldn't tell you why. I think I just like Will Ferrell more of like the rated R Will Ferrell, like old school, Wedding Crashes and
arguably the funniest movie.
Like I need that version of Will Ferrell, and I think any other version of him, I'm just not caught up in. So like when he does like a PG thing like Elf, I'm like, okay.
He just seems too much out of place for you.
It's just for me. Yeah, obviously you'd probably be one of the few people that could pull off that character in the movie, but
dude.
Just for me, I just like just the rated R version of Will Ferrell.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Luke, what are your thoughts on Elf? You gotta love Elf, right? Come on.
I do. I love Elf.
Attaboy.
It's always been one of my favorites. Gotta watch a couple times every Christmas,
Yeah. Every year I watch it at least once. It's on TV so much, so I'll catch like bits and pieces of it here and there too. But I always sit down and full on put it on, watch it start to finish at least once.
Maybe that's it too. Like it's on like AMC, TNT. Like now, I guarantee you can flip through the channels right now and it's on.
Well, they start Christmas season as soon as fucking Halloween ends, man.
Yeah.
As soon as November 1st rolls, it's like, all right, Christmas time. Which is actually going to be something we're going to talk about a little bit when we get to our recommendations. But there are like virtually no Thanksgiving movies.
No.
They're like none. They
No,
they don't exist.
I tried looking some up too, and like just to go through a couple.
Yeah.
And there were some that were just kind of like, it was like one of the scenes take place in Thanksgiving, so
Right.
they considered it
It's
a
fringe.
Thanksgiving movie. Like there's only one, and it's the absolute GOAT of not just Thanksgiving movies. Like it's on, if you combine holiday movies, it's by far the GOAT. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is just, it's one of those movies that like now if I watch a movie that I've seen over and over, there's not too many scenes that crack me up the same time like the first time I watch it. Like I'm thinking of like Superbad is one I can think of. Like that scene in Home Economics when he's behind Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I'm in tears every single time I watch that, no matter how many times I've seen Superbad.
I hear you.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is another one. That scene where
Cracks me up.
Carl and Patty Saws, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I want a fucking car right fucking now. That whole entire scene where he just goes off the deep end. I literally am in tears every single time I watch it.
Yep.
Love that movie.
Couldn't agree more. But yeah, before we move on, like I said, Spirited, go check that out. Apple TV if you got it. I said, honestly, we'll do the holiday boost again, but I said 7.4 originally. A holiday boost, I put this movie at like an 8. I put a little more above
I
it.
feel like you need a couple of new ones too to mix in. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You can't just watch the same
Definitely.
Christmas movies over and over and over again.
But you know what? We're gonna, like you said, we're gonna do a Christmas show, and there's actually been a couple in the last couple of years that have come out that I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
That 8-bit Christmas one I really liked. That was I think last year or 2 years ago. I liked that one a lot.
Office Christmas Party is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another very good one.
From there, let's go into a show that we've been talking about a little bit, not too much, but I have some thoughts because I really loved this week's episode. That's White Lotus. I know you said you caught up, right?
Yeah, just watched the 2, 3, and 4 yesterday. So
Nice.
rip through. Yeah.
What do you think about this season so far compared to season 1?
It was honestly the first 3 episodes. It was still the first one I said like put me to sleep. 2 and 3 didn't do much better for me. But I thought 4 really picked up.
Yeah.
I think now we're going now. Like
I thought 4 was
everything's
awesome.
Everything's set in line. Now it's like the first one was just kind of like individual stories.
Yep.
And it was different storylines per plot. But now it just seems like it's everybody trying to fuck somebody else over.
Yep.
Whether it's the 2 married couples. I love the son's Christopher Maltasati's son.
Yep.
I love his storyline now. Like I know Luke hasn't seen it yet, so I don't want to get into it. But when he's with the Italian chick and like the other chick that he wanted to be with is like sad and all about, but yeah,
the bar
fuck
scene was
you.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah,
what is
that
he
bar
supposed to
scene
do?
was
Sit
great.
there with a puss on his face
Yeah.
and be miserable all
The
night?
Italian prostitute is one of the best characters in the show. She's
Yeah, I love
unbelievable.
it.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Even like the fact that she was able to pick up on the awareness of it, like knowing that he's looking over and she's just like, don't let him win.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
oh, this is great.
Right.
She knows what's going on.
I
She's
think we
awesome,
won.
man.
Yeah, like they leave and she's like, I think we won.
Yeah. Luke, where are you at? I know you said you had started it, right?
Yeah, I did not focus on White Lotus, unfortunately.
No worries.
I caught up more on. I watched a lot of 1899.
Oh, all right.
And,
Nice.
and all Quiet on the Western Front, and then Andor, obviously.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, I watched the first episode of season 1 of White Lotus.
All right. What'd you think of that?
It was good. I liked all the characters you guys were pointing out. Obviously, Stifler's mom,
Yeah,
like
she's
you said,
hysterical.
yeah, she's always funny, and
She fucking cracks me up every time.
and she was just in the Watchers too, which was
Oh, okay.
a good show.
That's right. Yeah. She was the real estate agent. I thought it was
Yeah.
her the whole time, man. I was fucking sure. Of it.
I know. I thought it was
Sure of it.
yeah.
The way she like cries too in this
In White
series
Lotus?
is hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
All of her mannerisms, the way she talks and stuff, everything is so funny.
Yep.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's a sex scene this week that happens in a church. But I was belly laughing just watching it. I was just like, oh my fucking god, this is hilarious. Like you said, I thought this episode was one of my favorite. This is my favorite of the season so far, and I like season 1, but I haven't watched it since it was on. But this might have been my favorite one of the 2 seasons so far. I thought this episode was awesome.
And now you got to go back to the first scene of episode 1 where one of the younger couples, like she's swimming and she obviously like kicks a dead body while swimming or like sees something. We don't know what it is. So now there's a lot of different options. I think they can go with that.
I'm hoping it's Aubrey Plaza. I hope she kills her fucking loser husband.
See, I kind of think it's herself.
That's simp.
That it's gonna be.
That would stink.
But she's definitely thinking about it. Like she had a couple scenes this episode the last episode where she's like looking out at the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
when she like walked right over to it.
yeah. So like she's thinking of something. So I don't know if it's like somebody else or it's gonna be herself that's gonna do it. But
Yeah. She's like, I can throw his body into this ocean.
yeah,
No one will ever
no one
know.
would fucking know at all.
No. I
Not
can
a
drag
clue.
him over here. Look, honey, this will be so great.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, right.
Bash
Rock.
him over the head and push him into the ocean.
Rock over the head. See you later.
She had a little look in her eye, like a little, I don't know. She had that little evil hint to it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But I'm loving this season. I'm very, very invested to it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, finally, like I said, episode 4, I finally got into it a
Yeah.
little bit. So
A lot of chaos is running going. I'm very into, like you said too, the Chris Moltisanti, his character there,
Yep.
and then his son. Now that's gonna really blossom.
all three of them have
because
seen the Italian chicks naked,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
that shit, man. Oh man, I was dying this week. I was literally cackling, belly laughing over watching it this week. I loved it. Got me very intrigued. And the preview on the rest of the season looks chaotic.
Yeah,
too.
now it's like, all right, now we pick up and
chaotic.
yeah, it does.
So I'm looking forward to the rest of that. Luke, you're gonna have to catch up and give us your opinions on that.
I definitely will. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm almost done with 1899, so that'll be next to my list.
Yeah. 1899. Actually, let's get to that right now. That's what I got next on my list. 1899 on Netflix. They drop all 8 episodes at one time. You little devil there. You got 6 episodes in already, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was 6. It's actually 5, but
All right, 5.
But yeah, I'm working through it, and
No shit.
really, really loving it. Honestly, it's
You're a couple ahead of me.
yeah, it's a real fun show.
It is, yeah.
Honestly, reminds me a lot of Lost. I think you maybe haven't seen Lost yet, Nick. Right?
Yeah, I watched. I
Yeah.
watched Lost.
Okay, it reminds me a lot of that, just like with, like they're in a low tech setting, but there's like some mystical, like high technology, like working through it, and got all the symbolism or like the like artifacts with power and time travel and all that kind of shit. So it's definitely really fun to watch, and curious to see where it goes because it's only got 3 episodes left, and it's every like answer that they give you is more like just a twist that makes it more confusing.
Oh, if I had
and
to
like
imagine,
a deeper mystery. So
yeah, if I had to imagine, you're not going to get all your answers tied up this season. I have to get it's going to be at least maybe 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know what they have planned, but if I had to guess, I would have to bet just because I've been comparing it to Dark constantly.
Yeah.
Like right away, like so like a big thing for me because I'm only on episode 3.
Yep.
Have you checked it out yet?
No, that's the one I got some catching up to do on.
All right, fair enough. So we won't. I won't give too much away, but there's a character that wears the captain wears the peacoat with a pop collar.
Yep.
And then there's a second character that comes in who also wears like the same collar, the same version.
Mm.
So right away to me, I go back to Dark because that's a huge thing in Dark is like these like almost character comparisons from people that are like totally different ages. Say if you want to put it that way, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm like, right away, I'm just like, oh man, I'm talking to Steph and like, oh, this could be this guy later on. She's like, this isn't Dark. Like, it's not going to be like that. I'm like, if you don't think this is going to be like that, you're crazy. I was like, there's going to be some time traveling and shit going on. Next thing you know, the endings of episode 2 and 3 were both like crazy.
Yeah.
But they don't like address them yet. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of, I haven't seen 4 yet, but at least the ending to episode 2 was crazy. Right away, I was like, oh my God, we got to dive into episode 3. And then they don't even address the ending at all for the entire episode. So I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
But then episode 3 ends in a crazy way. It's crazy. I'm loving it though. I'm very, very invested again. I thought it was also cool. Again, not to give too much away, but I thought it was crazy. In Dark, the ending of the first episode of Dark, a little boy goes missing, and then this show starts off at the end of episode 1. They find a little boy. I was like, oh, that's fucking.
Yep. So
Little circle there. I was like, all right, cool. I like that.
upside down world. Yeah.
But right away, man, I was like, fuck. As soon as they found that little boy, I was like, we gotta leave this kid here. I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, this kid's here for a reason. We gotta keep him locked up. Let's leave him right here and go away. Let's
Yeah.
pretend we didn't even see it.
Yeah. No, he's creepy as hell. I don't think he's said a word at any point really, and like it's very, very scary.
No, he's just a creepy little kid. The last
Yeah.
thing I saw him do was like climbing on the floorboards and the hidden tunnels and stuff like that. I was like, oh man.
Right. Yeah, he's pretty wild. There's a couple cool things I wanted to point out about it without giving anything away too. But
Yeah, that's one I'm interested to see Seth's opinion as well.
yeah, I was.
Such a mind bender.
I like the way that they use the flashbacks.
Yep.
Like it's not like they're actually just showing you something that happened already. The characters literally like trip balls and like they're back in their memory.
Yeah.
And they like relive it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool like way that they do that. And let's see what else I got here. Yeah. So I like that. I was watching it undubbed for a little while, and it was actually a lot of it's English anyway. So that's why some of the dubs line up really smoothly.
I was gonna say it felt like there was a lot of English because
Yeah.
I noticed that even in Dark. I wonder if it's the same way.
Yeah. Like some of the characters were speaking English, but others were German and French.
Yeah, no, that makes
And,
sense because
there's
it's like,
the Japanese girl.
Yeah.
But that's why it like lines up perfectly. But like the captain's one of the guys that speaks English a lot, but he also speaks German, so that's why they completely dub over both his English stuff and his German stuff to keep the same voice for the character.
I got you.
Yeah, but
How was watching it undubbed?
it was pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, it worked. And like I said, I'd say the most common language is probably English, just because Ike and that redheaded woman, I forget her name, the doctor. Yeah, she speaks English mostly too, but they both speak French and German to other people throughout. But
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm pulling for the captain just because, again, character ties to Dark. He's like one of the big actors in Dark, so
cool.
I just got a natural tie to him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, every time you think they're gonna tell you how something works or like give you an answer, it's just like, nope, some deep ass shit behind that thing you thought was deep.
Yeah, it always reminds me of like the thing from the Matrix. How far down does the rabbit hole go? You know what I mean? It's just like it just keeps spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. For every time you get one answer, you get two more questions, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? There's just always more to go.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying it. I also thought it's funny, again, that character that I like, the captain there. So he wears, like, obviously in this show, he's wearing a very distinguishable coat. Like I said, get the peacoat with the pop collar. He just wore like this very distinguishable, like, grubby ass raincoat and all of Dark just all the time. But it was just like, I love this, like, I love all the weird little ties to this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of opposite
semblances.
on a few things. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I love Dark. I know I've said that a lot of times, but that's one of my all-time favorite shows. I can't say enough good things about it. But like I said, Steph wanted to watch more, and I was like, you know what? I want to hold off. I was like, I already got so much to talk about on the podcast this week. I was like, I don't know if everyone's going to be diving into it. I didn't know you were going to be watching 6 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, I caught on to it. It's my kind of thing, like you said.
Yeah, I thought you would like it. I had a feeling. I know how your brain works. It's a lot like mine, I feel like, and I think that you'd be very into that kind of thing. Especially, like I said, you said you're going to check out Dark after this. I think you're in for a treat. I think you're going to love that.
Awesome. I can't wait. It does look like people are catching on to this show too. It's I was scrolling through Netflix today, and it was the #1 show in the U.S.
Nice.
on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
On like the top 10 thing.
Yeah, Dark ended up blowing up at the end. Like that's the 3rd season. It was like the one that really like kind of blew up as it went like quote unquote live. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Seasons 1 and 2 like had already been out, and that's when I don't know how it happened, but the that Netflix algorithm, kind of like you just mentioned, put it onto like people's radar. Yep. And then next thing you know, people were all starting to talk about it, which is why I caught on to it. And then me and Steph watched like season 3, which is the last one, as soon as it went live. But I feel like the 3rd season like popped, kind of like what you were saying, like top 10 and shit.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and yeah, everybody else is following along with it. I feel like it's kind of in the same category as Squid Game, where it's some like foreign film that or foreign TV series that everybody's getting right onto. It has that 8.0 on IMDb.
Nice.
And yeah, there's no second season approved or anything yet, but there's a lot of people asking for it. And it seems like it's promising at least.
Netflix hasn't been greenlighting anything right away yet. They've been kind of waiting on everything.
Yeah.
Even that other show that I mentioned a couple weeks ago there, the Midnight Club, the newest show from Mike Flanagan there, even that wasn't right away greenlit for a second season. He's kind of like, I'm waiting for the green light to see how it goes, basically. Which, honestly, I haven't seen anybody really talking about that one, which kind of bums me out, except for, 1 or 2 people there. Shout out Mia. I know she mentioned it to me. But fucking, not too many people have mentioned it. I really liked that show, but, yeah, sometimes Netflix, they can be careful with their pennies. They put out a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like All's Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they cancel as many things as they make, but...
Yeah, true. Exactly. Yeah, it's true. They're just putting out so many things, you know what I mean? Which isn't a bad thing necessarily, you know what I mean? Just kind of testing the waters, seeing what people like, seeing what people don't like. There's been a couple shows that got canceled that I liked. There's one that's always on my page, even though I've watched it like 5 times now, is The Society. It's only like 1 season, but it's basically like a Lord of the Flies with like high school kids kind of a thing. And I loved it. I was like fucking... And then I found out that season 2 just got canceled. And after I'd already watched season 1, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
That's gotta be heartbreaking.
I would never even watch this first season, you know what I mean?
That's gotta be heartbreaking.
It was. I was like, I'm an idiot. I should have looked into this beforehand. I was like, I'm such a moron. I literally was Googling like season 2, when's it coming? And it was like season 2 canceled.
They're like at 8.
Like, oh
man.
Heartache.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Oh, man. There's a lot of those shows going on right now that I'm into, those Lord of the Flies kind of shows. Yellow Jackets on Showtime, that's coming back for a 2nd season, I think, pretty soon. That show was awesome. If you guys haven't checked out Yellow Jackets season 1, Yellow Jackets was dope. Loved it.
I don't know that one either.
Yeah, there was another one, too, on was it Amazon, I believe. The Wilds? I think it was The Wilds, something like that. But it was like all girls, but it was like basically Lord of the Flies Island kind of situation again. But that one, me and stuff like that one, too. I think that one's coming back for a 3rd season.
Cool.
But yeah, $18.99. You'll have to check it out and let us know.
Yeah, that's next up for
I'm
me for
interested
sure.
to see your take on that one. That one's different from a lot of the other things that we watch. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Big mind bender. We have a movie to review, and then we have a show to recap. But before that, I said let's talk a little Thanksgiving movies, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off the
This is our recommendation segment. Not too many for
Spoiler.
Thanksgiving movies. Yeah, Seth talked about the big one. That was, of course, the one that I had. Steve Martin, John Candy.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Just an absolutely hilarious movie. I mean, that's Steve Martin when he was in his prime. He
Yeah,
was
just ripping
rolling.
through it.
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
The Jerk was right around then too, I believe.
Three Amigos,
Yeah.
probably around the same time.
I love that movie.
He was just banging out hits at this point, which I love Steve Martin. Even in that new show he's in, Murders in the Building, I love that show. He just cracks me up. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He said it's going to be his last thing acting-wise, too, which makes me sad.
That was like the SNL time. Like him and Chevy Chase were just
Yeah.
ripping through them and just riding the high of SNL.
Yeah.
And just making awesome movie after awesome movie.
Yeah. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, like Seth said, he kind of actually brought it, he nailed it. He smashed it right out of the park because it is really the only, like, Thanksgiving-themed movie. You know what I mean? Steve Martin trying to get home for Thanksgiving, has to battle a snowstorm. And he's a bit of a fucking, like, just like a, what do you call it? Like a, he's worried about every little thing.
Like a nervous Nelly.
Nervous, yeah, there you go. Always just like, yeah, exactly. Just panicking about every single little thing. And then he gets partnered up with, John Cady, who's fucking...
Yeah. And that's like the
complete
set.
annoying nightmare.
Yeah, it makes it hilarious, and it's also, you get the, like, just a perfect hint of, like, sadness, too, because John Candy's going through, like, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but John Candy's...
By now, but.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, do some homework.
Hey,
but
who knows?
John Candy's character, like I said, that a little bit of like sadness there too, but like the funniness of it like trumps it.
Yeah, no,
But it's a
hilarious
perfect
movie.
blend. Yeah,
Fucking
it's so
hilarious movie. The other one that I have that is actually a movie that I watched last night. It's a movie that we've also mentioned on the show before. It's a personal favorite of mine. It's Silver Lining Playbooks. While it's not in any way directly tied to Thanksgiving or anything like that, I feel like it encompasses a lot of the things that Thanksgiving kind of is wrapped around.
Yeah.
That fall weather, you got tons of football.
Yep.
You got a ton of family, the family meals, the family conversations, the inner workings, the drama, the annoyance of seeing relatives sometimes. Like when his brother comes into the movie, his brother's just basically just like saying how his life's awesome and Bradley Cooper's life sucks. And he's just like... Dude, it's like that's why I hate Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to deal with this shit kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like it encompasses a lot of the things that Thanksgiving does. And it's quite literally one of my favorite movies of all time. I was saying to Steph, I was like, I could argue that movie's in the top like 10 to 20 movies of the last like 20 years for me.
Yeah.
Of like anything. I fucking think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro, Chris Tucker was the first time he had been back on the screen in a long time. He has an awesome little cameo in that movie. And you mentioned and this is in a different way, but you mentioned in scenes that always make you laugh, even though you know what's going to come. Robert De Niro's speech at the end of the movie, when he kind of grabs Bradley Cooper and he's like, moments in life grab out to you, it gets me every time, man. It just fucking hits me home. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, Steph, is it dusty in here? Or what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, what a scene.
Of course, it's after the Eagles cover the spread or whatever,
Yeah,
and they beat
yeah.
the Cowboys or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So he's riding that high.
Fucking hilarious movie. Great De Niro performance. He's awesome. And everyone's awesome.
That's what I was gonna say. It's one of those, like, every actor and actress, like, it's not just one of those movies where just one role blew it away.
Yeah.
Like, they all knock it out of the park.
They really, really do. I love it. Still, it cracks me up. It has some sad moments. It's a great movie. I love it. Have you seen Silver Lining Playbooks, Lou?
Yeah, I actually hadn't seen it until probably like sometime this year, but it's definitely a really good movie. Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper in a cool role, and yeah, Robert De Niro, the addicted to gambling father. That's a character throughout.
Just trying to get his restaurant, baby. Just wants to make Philly cheesesteaks.
Yep, he's a good man. Good man at heart. Got some shit he's working through, but they all do, clearly. That's kind of what it's about.
Cliff, when they go to the Eagles game and they run into the doctor, like that's one of those scenes that just cracks me up every single time. It's just like, today I am your brother. I'm so happy to see you. And then after they get into the fight, they go back to the crib. And fucking Cliff goes with him. He's still got his face painted, almost just to like vouch for Bradley Cooper. This whole scene is just insane.
Out of control.
The brother doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, right.
It's just utter chaos, but I absolutely love that movie. I don't know if I said it on here, but I traveled like friggin' 40 minutes to go see that movie in theaters when it was playing because it was only in select theaters. It was
it
a
really?
very, very limited release. It didn't get like a mass screen release, and I was fucking chilling with shout out Ginge, Nicole Robitaille. I was chilling with her one day, and we just had nothing to do, and I was like, I showed her the trailer and I was like, this movie looks awesome. I was like, but it's not playing anywhere in like a 45-minute radius.
Where was it at? That you saw?
It was a nice ass theater. It was somewhere in Rhode Island or Connecticut, I think. We had to go down.
Oh, man.
You know that.
What the fuck?
But yeah, it was like right on that border there, like past the shit pipes of Rhode Island. You know what I mean?
Was it the Warwick Mall, maybe?
No.
Even deeper?
Yeah, it was way deeper.
Oh my God.
'Cause I would say I go Funko Pop on the
Yeah.
Warwick Mall. But no, it was pretty far. It was a good drive. But I remember we had nothing to do. I checked it out. And it was like that was well worth it. Loved
Yeah,
it. I
great
loved
movie.
it. I've seen that movie a bunch of times, and it still hits me every single time.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Do you guys have any other ones, even fringe kind of, like I said, anything that reminds you of Thanksgiving, anything like that?
I was trying to go through one. I gotta pull it up on my phone, but I was going through the list and I was like, it was a good movie, but I didn't think of it as a Thanksgiving movie. So I mean, let me take a look here.
Well, see, there's a couple that they always usually revolve around football to me. I don't know if that's just because in America, football and Thanksgiving just go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like even like Invincible, which is a movie that I surprisingly like, even though I hate Mark Wahlberg. I like that movie a lot. Like that one kind of gives me the same kind of vibes. You know what I mean? Small town kid, a lot of family in that movie. Kind of makes it to the league, the whole thing, football.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Same thing that you were just saying, actually. Family football, The Blind Side.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's
yeah, that totally hits. I
Great-
feel like
that's a
that
great
works.
movie.
That's a good
Remember the
call.
Titans, probably, too.
Yeah, I would say, like I said, I don't know if it's just because we're from America and football and Thanksgiving go hand in hand. But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would say even, Replacements, fucking any of those movies, I feel like they all hit Thanksgiving
Yep,
time.
that was on my list. Any football movie, like Remember the Titans, is one of my...
Any football movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
God, I
weird.
love
There's-
Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
I should have like just like
Especially
Googled
high
it
school,
to think if
so.
there was anything I was missing. And Google gives you a bunch of Christmas movies. I'm just like that's not
Yeah.
that's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like even this, I'm flipping through some, and it's just a lot of Thanksgiving movies. I mean, Christmas movies.
A lot of Christmas movies.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
I've got some good fringe ones. Some
Yeah, what did you have
sort
for
of-
Fringe?
So Rocky is actually there's like a Thanksgiving scene in like 3 of the 5 Rocky movies.
You don't gotta convince me on that, but
Yeah, and there's the scene with Paulie, right?
yeah,
The scene with Paulie throwing the turkey out in the alleyway or whatever.
perfect.
And,
I love it.
like, yep, and that kind of like is the last straw that gets Adrian to go out with Rocky, right? And then
I love
they're
that.
kind of continuing it too. I guess I was looking it up, and I guess Creed 1 and 2 were both released on Thanksgiving, and Creed 3 was originally released
Originally for Thanksgiving?
or scheduled to release this Thanksgiving,
No kidding.
but they had to move it. Obviously, now it's March next year, but so they're acknowledging it a little bit, and not that there's been any like Thanksgiving references in Creed, but
Yeah, no, I got you.
they think it's a Thanksgiving time movie too. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. I think there's a void there. You know what I mean? Christmas movie, especially even December in general, gets just flooded with movies because people will go Avatar 2, a bunch of superhero movies come out in December. Spider-Man No Way Home just released in December.
Yeah.
It's a big time for movie releases because people go into the theater. It's starting to get cold outside in a lot of places and stuff like that.
Was Knives Out around Christmas time? I mean, Thanksgiving time?
I saw
This is
that one
popping
was
up
on there.
the
That one
list,
was like
too.
a Thanksgiving release.
I didn't get around to that one.
Knives Out?
Yeah.
Knives Out was pretty good. I like Knives Out. Second one's coming out pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, that's
actually.
when we're doing like Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it was a
Right,
loaded
it was
cast.
in-
Chris Evans.
Yeah, one of those
It was loaded.
loaded casts.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was one of those,
like it a
like
lot.
Clue movies. What is it?
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
You liked it?
Knives
Knives
Out?
Out?
Yeah, that's my kind of thing.
Yeah, I
And
like
Netflix
those.
paid big bucks for the next 2, right?
Yeah, 2 more. Yeah, the next one's, what is it, like Glass Onion, I think it is, something like that? Is it Glass
I
Onion?
don't know.
It is something to do with an onion.
Something Onion. I don't know why, I don't know. Glass Onion came to mind. Could be wrong. But I'm looking forward to that. I think is that December? I think it is.
I hope so.
I believe that Knives
That was
Out
off my
2 is
radar.
December. That's straight to streaming, too, I think.
Yeah, Netflix is making
It's
it.
Netflix, right? I think it's
Yeah.
going straight to streaming.
It will be out tomorrow.
What is?
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
What?
Well, I mean,
No
it's
shit.
in theaters tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow, no kidding.
cool.
Look at that. Spielberg's movie's out tomorrow, too.
Yeah,
I can't think of the name of it.
Seth Rogen's in it.
It looks pretty good. I'm very intrigued. Anything Spielberg, you can catch me there. And let me tell you, man, speaking of Spielberg, but James Cameron, he's winning me over with this Avatar 2. I didn't love Avatar 1. I'm going to rewatch it soon. But this guy, he's one of the great filmmakers of all time. And the way he's talking about this fucking movie, I'm like, this movie's going to be awesome. He's got me. I don't even care.
You know what's funny is that I had a thing that I would, like, if you're talking about news, I just put James Cameron needs to shut the fuck up. So like a couple weeks, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, he came out with something trashing like superhero films, saying that especially the Marvel ones are like, oh, it's just a bunch of I think he said
Guys
compared
that
like college frat party kind of thing.
I saw that.
And I'm like, dude, what are you nervous that this is like the genre of movies. Even Quentin Tarantino today came out with like a quote about it, saying
He's
the
been
same thing.
a lot lately. Yeah,
saying like, at the end of the day, like the superheroes are what gets remembered. Like Captain America, Thor. But I'm like, I remember like Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man. Like that's his role. He took it and he like blew it away.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Like it's not the case where it's just the superhero itself. Like what are these guys like all of a sudden they're like piping up about? Is because they're taken away from their showtime? You want to talk about a fantasy world? You got people. James Cameron, you're making a movie about people that are transferred as fucking blue alien people, whatever. I'm like talking about special effects. Special effects, cool. The year fucking 2022. Let's make a 3 hour and 13 movie. 3 hours and 13-minute movie over it. Yeah. James Cameron, shut the fuck up.
Take a seat.
We can't have both. You know what I mean? Like I can't like superhero movies, and if I were to like Avatar too, I can't have both.
You know what I
like,
think?
Why are we shitting on superhero movies all of a sudden?
Is I feel like that. Yeah, I think the reason why they're piping in all of a sudden is because superhero movies are finally good. You didn't hear James Cameron or Scorsese or any of these guys, because Scorsese's been talking about them too. Any of these guys coming out and talking about it when the X-Men trilogy came out, the original X-Men.
Yeah, right.
Trilogy,
That's
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or even after the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man franchise came out, they weren't saying that superhero movies were ruining cinema. You know what I'm saying? It's now that they're actually fucking killing it in the box office. They're contending with movies like Avatar 1 and knocking him off of his pedestal of being the number one highest rated box office movie of all time. And now it's like, oh shit, we have to contend with all these movies, and they're popping out like crazy. Exactly.
Sorry, make a better batch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't go see a superhero movie and then I'm going to watch the next Quentin Tarantino film, series, whatever it is. Like, I don't get why I have to have both.
I think it's funny because I already mentioned earlier that on a different episode where James Cameron basically went to like a film school, whatever you want to call it, but he went through like a fucking huge ass course where they were literally learning to film and redesign cameras that film on the water. They like spent like 10 years doing it specifically for Avatar 2. Working with all these new cameras, all these new procedures to film underwater and make these scenes like unbelievable.
Cool.
Which the trailer looks awesome, right? I'm not saying the trailer doesn't look awesome. I said I'm excited for the movie. But I think it's hysterical that Black Panther 2 just came out. They did a bunch of shit on the water, and it looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
They didn't wait 10 years, you know what I mean? No. There was no 10-year process of going in the water to do this. They filmed scenes on the water, and they looked sick. They didn't just look okay. They looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was some of the best scenes in the movie. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I think that's got to be concerning for him. He's like, what the fuck? I just went and did all this shit for nothing. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. It's got to be tough. But
I hope that it's nothing against James Cameron. He makes awesome movies. Just I hope that movie flops. I don't know how it's
not gonna.
I don't know how it's going to.
It's not gonna.
Like I can't imagine it's going to.
Did you see how good the re-release did? The re-release fucking was unbelievable.
Yeah, it drew more than like movies that are coming out. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but I hope that movie flops.
I saw he actually made another comment the other day. It's got to be like the 4th highest grossing movie of all time in order to make any profit. That's how big the is.
I did see that.
Jesus Christ.
So that's my goal. As long as it doesn't become the 4th highest rated, like the highest profit
doesn't make
movie.
$1. You just don't have to make $1.
Just don't make that goal. Exactly.
All right, I got you.
If you don't make that goal, that's a win for me, and that's a fail for you, James Cameron. You fail.
Challenge on Seth Bruskin.
And you did make a superhero movie. You made Aquaman. Oh, never mind. Sorry, that was Entourage. My fault. Sorry, that wasn't real. That wasn't real. My fault. I don't know. I hope it fails. I can't tell you why. I think Avatar is overrated.
I gotta watch the first one again, but I did not like it the first time I watched it. That was that's over 10 years ago for me. So my
special effects, cool, sweet, CGI, neat.
Yeah. Luke, you excited for Avatar?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be good. I'm with Seth that like he's definitely kind of a pretentious dick usually. He's him coming at the superhero movies is him kind of feeling threatened, like you were saying, Nick, too. Like he's reeling. He's feeling like he has to defend himself a little bit. So, but no, it looks like it's gonna be good. He's obviously put a ton of time into it. Maybe the fact that it's gonna be underwater for like 2.5 hours, it made it worth doing it for real. I don't know if that's cheaper than CGIing it for 2.5 hours, but yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of the first one, but I think the second will be decent. Yeah,
I think I was saying even if it's not that good of a movie, I was like at least for 3 hours it'll look pretty damn beautiful. I have to imagine it's probably going to be pleasant to look at least. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Hopefully, at least I'm going to say hopefully it doesn't flop.
It's a good IMAX movie. Definitely gotta check it out.
Checking that one out in IMAX. No doubt about that for sure.
Did they do like 3D the first time too, or was it just
I think they did do 3D. Yeah, I remember 3D. Going with my family. One of the few movies I saw with my family, and I remember seeing 3D because I still vividly remember. I went with my whole family, including my dad, who, if you like, who, if you don't know, is legally blind and has visual issues. So, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, how does he have these 3D glasses on? And like, does it like help or anything like that? So I do remember that movie definitely was out in 3D,
right.
And that's how I remember it.
Oh man, I love your father. I would love to have seen that. I would love to have been there for that experience. I would have loved. I would have just watched John. I wouldn't even have watched the movie. I would have just seen. I would have liked to watch John's reactions.
Yeah, that's gotta be weird for someone who can barely see.
I would
Said
have
he
to,
loved,
man.
said he loved it. I don't know.
Said he loved it. Honestly, it would have been better for him because when he watches the big games and stuff, he likes to get real close to the screen so he's got the best possible view of it. Maybe the fact that the 3D's coming right at him, maybe it helps his.
Yeah. Like the color, you know what I mean? I know he does. It's not an issue of colors, so if he, sees the beautiful blue water and
that's too funny.
The cool blue aliens.
I love your dad. One of my favorite people on the goddamn planet. He is a gem. From there, though, I think that's going to wrap it up for our recommendations, though, I think, for the Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I had two quick ones with like scenes.
Oh, what do you got?
I remember in like the first Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
Thanksgiving scene. Yeah, he's got a cut in his wrist the first time that the Goblin realizes that he's Spider-Man.
Yep, exactly. He like hides attached to the ceiling while Norm's like looking around for him, and then that's when he figures it out, and it kind of like leads to the
message and knock me down.
Yeah, it leads to the climax of the movie.
Puts it in the fucking pie. He fucking slaps it.
Yeah. And he, like Peter brings like a can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
That's his contribution. And then just Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, got to be mentioned.
Oh, of course, that's always
Yeah.
And then
no doubt.
I feel like any movie with like Native Americans in it too kind of gives you the
maybe The Revenant. I can see The Revenant almost playing Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, I mean it's that's obviously like I looked it up. That's like 18 something, but I put The Revenant on my list too.
No shit, did you?
Yep. But it's not like 1620 Pilgrim stuff, but it still gives you the vibes and Native American stuff appreciation. That's kind of half the point of Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. I can't believe that's what Leo finally won for. It's wild to me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He wasn't even the best guy in the movie. Tom Hardy was better than he was, and
they were both good. But yeah,
they were both good. No.
Yeah,
Leo wasn't good.
So
Leo was good, but he's done so many fucking gems that he could have won for, and that was just a matter of time, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I agree. Leo's been robbed many times, but he'll take a makeup call.
I mean, unbelievable. I can't remember who beat him for Wolf of Wall Street, but that one was. I can't believe that he didn't win that one. Yeah, I can't remember who beat him for that one. It was. It might have been Tom Hanks, to be honest with you. I feel like it could have been.
It's like 2014 or something.
That what was? I think it was. I might be mixing my years up. What was that spy movie that he did? That Tom Hanks did there. It was 20 teens.
Like Taylor. No,
I can't think of the name of it. But that one I know won. I feel like he won Best Actor for that one.
Huh.
But yeah, always like we said, not too many Thanksgiving specified movies. But I like the Rocky shout out. I mean, anytime you want to watch Rocky, I'm down. You know what I mean? You don't need to give me a reason. I love that though. And right away, as soon as you said, I was like, good call. I like that.
Yeah,
definitely a couple scenes. Spider-Man 1, 2, that was a good one. As soon as you said that one clicked. Obviously right away because I started basically quoting the little tidbits of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
That movie's cemented in my brain. I've seen it 2 billion friggin' times, man.
Yeah, it's classic.
Oh, you know, I actually have to just grab my charger for the camera real quick because I forget to grab it. So you guys just talk for 1 quick second.
All right.
Oh, you know who it was who won? I mean, it was actually pretty decent. It was he lost to Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I remember that.
Never saw that one, but
yeah,
I do remember it got a lot of. It was one of those. I think it absolutely cleaned house during that year.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, but yeah, he's
that one?
Dallas Buyers Club. McConaughey.
Oh shit!
McConaughey, yeah.
Luke, if you want to just plug that brick into that green right there, and
Yeah.
then you can plug yours to the camera. Oh. Yeah, you know that. Fuck.
Damn it!
Tough. Yeah, that's a fucking tough one. That is a tough one right there. I think from there though, we're gonna get into what I was kind of suggesting earlier in the podcast, right off the beginning. I got some things to spew, and I think I'm ready to get into it.
Let it out.
Spew.
Let's start with All Is Quiet on the Western Front. I actually, you know what? I want to start with Lukey on this one. Because we got Seth's opinion last week. I want to hear what Lukey has to say first. Let's start with Luke. Luke, what you got? All Is Quiet on the Western Front, Netflix, getting great reviews. Seth gave it a pretty good recommendation.
Yeah, I think it was really good. I'm curious to see what you didn't like about it. I thought it was really well made. Epic opening scene, like Mitz mentioned. like the guy is just like scared shitless. Like you see him be like kind of cowardly a couple times, but then the scene ends with him just being a badass too. So, and that's kind of like a theme of that they go through for the whole movie. So it's a lot about the struggle and the fear, and especially for all these young guys that are just getting into the army. They think it's going to be all great, and they go right into the shitstorm. They literally
that was
like
the best part
10 minutes into their like service, they're like ankle deep in mud.
Like, oh fuck, what have we done?
Yeah, just like nasty shit. People getting blown up immediately. Like, pretty wild.
I like the opening scene as far as what they did with the uniforms too. I thought that was actually a pretty interesting way of doing that.
Yeah,
the whole process, battlefields, truck, stripped, clean. You know what I mean? Then they clean. You have to see the woman just like washing them, hanging them back up, and then they just go right out the door to.
Oh, the ones
Jesus, someone just died in this.
Yeah, the scene where they're like, oh yeah, this is like a different name. It's not the main characters, and they're like, oh yeah, it's probably just like didn't fit them. Like, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. But you realize that it's just all the soldiers that have died. Like, pretty fucked up shit. I don't know. I like that. Like I said, I like that they focused on like how like nationalistic World War I was.
Yeah.
And how all these young kids were just jacked up, ready to fight for their country, and they just had
a lot of
no idea what they were walking into.
Yep. No doubt about that.
Yeah, pretty wild. It honestly had like some horror movie vibes. I know we'll get into it more when you go through some scenes, Nick. I know the first one I mentioned to you before when we got here, you're like, I got some thoughts on that. So.
Oh yeah, we want to get it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did not enjoy this movie.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks, man. I mean, I didn't love the ending, but I thought it was good, and I thought it was really well made and really great effects. They did so many cool effects. Before I get into that other scene, there was one, like during a few shootouts, I feel like all the fire was real, all the smoke was real, all the blood and like the sets were all real.
The trenches looked awesome too.
Yeah, and like all the violence looked so real too. Like there's one scene where the guy shoots a soldier in the head, and it like goes through the guy's head and like blows up a glass on a shelf behind him. Like, it was just a very like lively environment. It seemed very real. But yeah, the scene that I thought was like very horror like that Nick didn't like was
well, I didn't like a part of it. But you go ahead. You go ahead.
They're just like at the very beginning, and they're taking some bombs, and they're trying to hide in the trenches, and these guys who just got there 10 minutes ago are all freaking out and like literally crying for their moms and stuff. And I don't know, like some of them obviously weren't cut out for it, but it just like shows that extreme example. And then one guy runs out there and gets freaking vaporized.
Absolutely demolished.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting. It was like I thought it was a horror movie, and a lot of times. So that was kind of cool to me. But Nick, what did you think about that scene?
Now you like right where you just finished off. I almost kind of agree with everything you just said. That scene this build-up was awesome. They really like intensified it. You got one of the main boys that we just met. Well, not just met, but I like the first kind of like almost the first hour of the movie. You know what I mean? When we're meeting these kids and stuff, you could tell what it was doing. There was character development. They were trying to get you to like these kids before they were unfortunately going to be thrown, like we said, into the trenches. Kind of, you know what I mean? They were probably eventually all going to die, which is what I was assuming right out of the gate. Yep. So I get what they're doing. They're trying to make it, they want to make us sad later on when they die. I get it. I'm with you. That's going to be one of my big things. But before we get to that scene that Luke was just mentioning, you got these mortars raining down on them. I was like, all right, this is awesome. It's intense. You get this one kid that's crying. Then you hear whatever you want. The sergeant, the guy at the head of the room here, says this is basically what happens right before they move in for the attack. Like, this is kind of like the proceedings there. They're kind of clearing the area so that we come and hide. So they're allowed to just advance right up on us. So, like, they're coming kind of a thing. Like, get ready. So, like, I'm all fucking pumped up. I'm like, all right, we just did like an hour of character development. We're in the shit. The fucking guys are coming. Like, they're coming over. They're firing mortars. Like, let's fucking go. And the next thing you know, the trench, whatever you want to call it, the like the pit that they had dug into to protect themselves from the mortars, collapses. The main character like gets knocked out and is like buried by the rubble, and then the rest of the scene is just skipped. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Like, no.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Where you going?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, we just did like a full hour of character development. All right, it's time now. We have an hour. It's like an hour. That's another thing. This movie was way too fucking long. Way fucking too long.
I'll admit I took a break.
All right. Let me tell you. Like, we just, for instance, like if you can keep me entertained, I don't care how long your movie is. I really don't. I don't give a shit. I'm not even a big DC fan. The Justice League cut, I think it's like 4 hours long. I watched the whole thing virtually without a problem.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of how long it is. This movie felt fucking long, dude. I was like, this is this is a lot. But like I said, you have this hour character development, and then you get to the best part of the movie. They like skip it. That really pissed me off. That really, really, really pissed me off. I was like, this should be like one of the big scenes. I'm like, all right, there's an hour and 10 minutes left, an hour and 20 minutes left. Like, let's have a nice big fucking pop here and show what the rest of this movie is going to be like. And then we just skip it.
Yeah, but I think my thing was the reason why I liked it is that I didn't need a war movie that you were able to become emotionally attached to the characters. You know, like Saving Private Ryan is or whatever. Yeah. Like that one, they want you to be emotionally attached to the characters. I feel like I didn't need a movie like that.
Sure.
I wanted to see. It sounds like, I guess, whatever, sadistic, whatever you want to call it, but I wanted to see just like the brutality of World War I.
It got skipped. Got skipped in that scene. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to see it too.
There was a lot of crazy shit.
But I didn't need to see four characters.
Awesome. The guy goes out because he's so scared. He gets blown to pieces. All right, bang, boom. It's like, all right, the general, like I said, whoever the general, the sergeant, whatever the fuck, the guy that's in charge is like the Paris,
the Empire,
the French, the British, they're all fucking coming. They're gonna this is what they do. They're gonna be coming. Yeah. So like I said, I'm sliding to the edge of my seat. I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. And the next thing you know, it's like black screen. All right, we skipped the whole battle, and the main character was buried under some rubble. We just pull him out, and he's just totally fine. I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that is so fucking lame.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like, just assumed that they retreated and then retook the ground or whatever. Like,
yeah, because there was probably an awesome battle, Luke, that we didn't see.
No, I'm with you.
The only thing that I thought was on that lame side was his friend dying at the end.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get
the cat's poor death. I don't even want to. The only character that I really liked in this whole movie is that cat guy.
Yeah,
Krasinski.
Can't read.
That guy's the fucking man. Yeah. I don't want to get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But like I said, so that was a big problem for me. Another big problem for me, like I said, was the runtime. This movie easily could have been 30 minutes shorter. Then, like I mentioned, this character development that we do for an hour, right? To me, ends up being totally not paid off at all. You have 4 kids. You got Paul. I only know 2 of their names. Paul, Laz is the fat one. Then you get the kid with glasses, and then you get the skinny black-haired kid, right? So, right after the mortar scene that we just mentioned, and the scene that gets skipped, he goes collecting the dog tags, right? And then he's basically stumbles upon a pair of glasses, which is all right, that's probably not a good sign. And then he comes across the body of the kid. I swear to God, I'm like, well, he's covered in mud. I've only seen him with the glasses on. I was like, is this a sigh of relief? Is it not him? Is it him? Then when he starts crying, I'm like, oh, okay, it's that kid with the glasses. Probably should have kept the glasses on him just so that it was almost, you know what I mean? Just because I was like, we haven't spent that much time with these kids, and it's I don't know exactly what they look like. You throw a bunch of mud and dirt all over them. I was like, I can't recognize this fucking kid. It's not till he starts crying where I'm like, oh shit, it must have been that kid whose glasses we just found a fucking few minutes ago. I was like, okay, I guess I'm kind of sad.
Well, they show the glasses earlier, it's like goggles basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that was your tell that it was him.
Should have left him. Yeah, you know what would have been a tell if they just left him on his fucking head.
Rather than him die, people die in movies and the other actor closes their eyes.
Yeah,
they just put the glasses on him instead.
Go to sleep, my sweet prince.
Yeah, exactly. They just put the glasses over him.
Yeah.
So then we get to Laz. Laz fucking goes off on that little mission for a minute with the girls, which is a scene that I like. Comes back with the panties. I was like, all right, cool. I like this kid. He's funny. He's cracking me up and shit. He dies off screen. Somebody just comes up to him. He's like, hey, here are these old pair of panties. Laz is dead.
He didn't make it, but here are the panties.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, it's one of the only characters. We're only following 4 people or 5. It ends up being 5 with Kat once he gets introduced. But I'm like, we're following 5 characters in this whole movie, and one of them dies off screen?
Yeah, when there's 2.5 hours. So.
Exactly! Yeah. How are you going to die off screen? They get separated in one of the trenches, you know what I mean? They're calling after one another, and they kind of just get there's so many it's almost like a stampede of people.
Yeah.
Kind of get caught away from each other. And I'm like, that's just it. I'm like, you gotta be joking. Yeah. I'm like, all right, we're doing more character development with this kid later on. He's the man and shit. I'm like, and then we're just gonna not kill him on screen. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm hearing you.
And I kid you not, maybe one of you guys can fill me in. I still have no idea what happened to the other kid with the black hair. I don't know if he died. I don't know if he survived. If he died, I have no idea when it happened. I have no idea what happened to that kid.
Was it the one with the poster? Where he brings the poster back?
Yeah. I have no idea what happened to that kid. And whatever happened to him, it must have happened so fast that if I blinked for a half a second, because
there he is. Oh, he's dead.
you can vouch for him. I am not a person who's watching shit like I'm on my phone. Like my phone is like fucking across the room. Like
for sure.
when I'm watching something, I'm fucking watching something.
Yeah.
So like I said, if I'm missing something, it's because I literally like blinked or like I friggin' grabbed my drink off the coffee table and I took a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened to that guy. No idea.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No clue. See? So it's not just me.
Could they be trying to be like cocky filmmakers and making that a point of like that's how war is? You lose track of your friends, kind of shit.
That's what I thought it was. Like that's why I thought I didn't need to see character development in this movie. I just needed to see like how brutal World War I was.
Well, I tell you, if you're right about that, then we could have cut that opening 15 minutes in half.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you needed a little something. You know what I mean? Like I said, like it shows like the nationalism side of World War I and how these kids who had no idea what they were walking into were excited to fight. So I think you needed a little bit, but I didn't need to see
support. Just
these four kids like, oh, you know, they're brothers, I love each other, like the whole entire movie, and then three of them die at the end.
Yeah,
I didn't really need to see that.
Yeah, but it's clearly not a movie about like a hero. You know, it is about bravery, but not about someone who like changed the tides of the war or anything.
Yeah,
you know? So it's more just about like
he ends up becoming far more of a badass than I ever expected him to become. I'll tell you that. Like by the end of it, he's like a lot more of a bit of a killer.
Yeah. He's impressive, and he goes through all the emotions you could possibly have, and like challenged as much as anybody is. But
that was the best scene of the movie.
He's super brave, fights through it.
The emotional roller coaster he goes on in that like that trench.
Yeah, they're in like the mud pit.
Mm-hmm. And he stabs that guy, and he's just like refusing to die, even though he got stabbed like 6 times and is clearly choking on his own blood.
Yeah,
just refused to die. Just the emotional roller coaster that he goes on in that scene, I thought was awesome.
He's like, please die. Like,
it was
please
very
stop.
uncomfortable. Yeah, it was uncomfortable, but I thought he did an awesome job.
Yep.
Also, like you said, Luke, I thought, like, you know, visually effects wise, that shift I thought was good. It wasn't a terribly, you know, I didn't hate everything about it, but overall, I did not enjoy a lot of this movie. Let's get to the guy that Seth was mentioning, who was my favorite character in the movie, was that cat guy, Krasinski, the guy that they meet. He's kind of already a little bit seasoned and shit like that. Total badass.
Can't read, which I thought was kind of funny too.
Can't read. That scene on the shitter, I was just like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, this is just, I could not have, thank God I don't live in these times, man. They're just sitting there.
At each other.
I'm like, this is crazy. This guy's smoking right next to me while he's taking a shit. He's having me read his letter to him. I'm like, what the fuck?
And like a bucket, just like a wood bucket.
Bonding moment.
Yeah. I was like, this is chaos. I could never have done it, but I thought it was fucking hilarious, so I was cracking up at that. But this guy, these two, you know, we get through all this shit. Him and Paul, it seems like we're going to fucking survive. They go back to this fucking farm for one last pillage to get one more chicken before the war's all over.
Yeah.
This scene pissed me off to no end. I was like, if you want to kill Cat here, fine. So be it. I was like, 11-year-old Rambo, like, fucking takes his father's gun, tracks these guys down, fucking however far they ran. Then Cat goes to take a piss, even though they were just shitting together an hour earlier in the movie. Cat goes to take a piss. He goes 400 yards into the fucking woods to take a piss. I'm like, dude, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys were just shitting right next to each other. Just pull out your prick and take a piss.
Right.
Like, what's going on here? He travels fucking whoever knows how far into the woods. This kid takes his father's gun, is able to fucking follow these fucking 2 German soldiers, moves right past Paul into the woods, follows Cat, and shoots him. I was
On
like,
the hip.
yeah, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to what I was saying about how, like, you know, it wasn't like a character development thing. Is that when he goes back to the goes back to the base, there's no like dramatic scene of where he's like slowly dying and they're talking.
Nope.
It just goes right back to the brutality. The doctor's like, yeah, his liver's failed. Like, he's dead.
Yeah, that pissed me off too.
Yeah.
Like, he's gone.
So what the fuck do you mean he's gone?
He's gone.
He's fine.
So,
He was literally, like Paul said it too. He's like, he was just talking to me. I was like, he was just talking a minute ago.
Yeah, no, like his liver's failed. Like, he's dead. Like, there's no point
Yeah.
in
Blood's black.
trying to save him.
Done. Yeah.
It just goes back to the brutality of it.
Yeah, honestly, looking back at it now, it's like a tragedy. Like it's not a.
And then the very
not any other type of.
very last part of it is so like it was tragic at the end.
Yeah, that's. I don't think they were trying to make a inspiring movie or anything. They were like, this is the shit that happened. It was dirty and bloody and fucking sad, and it makes it intense. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not a traditional movie in most of those ways. You know?
Yeah.
That shit pissed me the fuck off.
I mean,
Like, all the shit that they survived, though, bro. Like I said, if you just have Pa, just have fucking Grandpa Jones is there running away, just fucking hit him or something.
Yeah, right.
Don't give me this 11-year-old fucking Pocahontas-looking fucking Rambo fucking kid. Traveling to the woods with his dad shot. Like, what did he do? Like, yo, Pa, give me that gun. I'm gonna go get him. And Pa was like, yeah, you go get him, boy. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I know it's a different time, but bullshit. I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah. It pissed me off. I was like, this is the only guy in this movie I actually like and give a shit about. He's the man. He survived all the bullshit. Yeah. And now you're gonna kill him off with this little 11-year-old.
I mean, that's what they did with fucking the main character too. You get stabbed with like 1 second.
That was the thing. Like that's tragic, dude. Like right when he dies, it's like it's the 11th hour. Like everybody stop fighting.
Yeah, it's meant to be fucking.
And you know what's gonna happen when the German commanders like we're fighting until the 11th hour. Like everybody get back out there.
Yeah.
Like you knew right when that was gonna happen. You're like, oh my god, like this kid's not gonna make it after this whole entire thing. And then the way that they do it is
buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Like brutal. It's a disappointing ending for sure.
But not like, oh wow, that sucked ending. You're just like you said, just like tragic ending.
It was intense.
Yeah, it was. Definitely. I mean, the war was tragic. Fucking like, what is it, like 9 million people or something like that?
Yeah, the stat at the end too, where they show how many yards the Western Front moved in that entire time frame. It was like just a matter of like yards that they moved up is just wild.
Yeah, I just finished it today. I remember it was like, it said 17 million or 19 million maybe died throughout the whole war, and 3 million died just on that Western Front.
Yeah.
And it was a matter of like 200 yards.
Yeah.
It's like an incomprehensible amount of people. Wild.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a history buff, so that gets a boost for me too. But I just, like I said, I didn't need to see like the character development. So I think that's where we separate. Is that there was no character development.
So I'm saying if that's the case, I think we should have cut a lot of this character development. One of my biggest complaints was how long this fucking movie was. So like I said, if we're not going to see some of these characters' deaths or how their story even turns out, I don't think, like, dude, the first 50 minutes of this movie is just like these kids getting ready to get into the trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's a long time, you know what I'm saying? So if we're not going to see some of these outcomes, it's like, why are we going to spend 50 minutes here when we can spend 30 minutes here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This movie was too long. That was one of my biggest complaints with it. So I'm like, if we're not going to see the outcome of these characters, then let's fucking cut some of this character development. We don't need it. It's just excess.
Even the small amount that they had, just get rid of it.
Yeah, so we don't need it. There was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of bunk scenes. There was a lot of them fucking laughing together and fucking getting kumbaya. Like, let's go fight for the country, baby, the fatherland.
Yeah. I think they were hoping we would take it as, like, all those other guys it wasn't to, like, support their individual stories, but it was all to make Paul's story more powerful, maybe.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Like, that's why they didn't. And, like, the fog of war kind of thing. I don't know. I'm making excuses for them, but that's probably what they were thinking, at least.
A lot of people like it, I'll tell you that. And even like the other scenes too, every time that he was doing the run across no man's land was awesome. Like the way they did that, I loved that. Mm-hmm. But then I felt like because he did it like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, all right, every time they did a good job of making it exhilarating. Even though you're going to assume that this guy is going to live, they did a good job with all the explosions and the guys popping off left and right to get your heart racing and stuff like that. But then I felt like once he got into the pits, while it did look realistic, which that I do give it, because all the fight scenes were like realistic, I felt like all of them were just like, I don't know if it was a budget thing, they all felt like a little small. Like once he got across no man's land and into the trenches, there'd be like 3 guys there. He'd shoot one guy, and then he'd make melee one to death, and then it'd be like a long fight with another guy. It was like, you know what I mean? Just kind of like, there's got to be more of them in these trenches. I'm sure more of your guys meet it too. Like, I get it, maybe it's a budget thing, but like, it should have felt like
laziness
more of a melee
something.
kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I bet those trenches got a little compacted sometimes. I would have to imagine.
Yeah.
With bodies just kind of like fucking banging
stacked
into one
up
another.
on top,
Exactly.
like dead stacked up
especially
on top
that
of each other.
front trench, like right where you cross no man's land and like get to that first trench. You'd think that would just be piled.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like they did a good job, like I said, with the effects wise of that run, that exhilarating run. I get it. That, the no man's it's a suicide mission. You know what I mean? You're a 1 in 100 all across the battlefield basically to get across this just open.
Just to move to the next trench.
Yeah.
With tanks.
And then you got to fight through there. You know what I mean? Then you get to the trench. It's like, all right, now it's time to fight. And I just was like, all right, like, where are all the guys? But like I said, I felt like you just did the same thing. It's like, all right, bang. Reloading takes too long. Fucking the melee with the shovel was like awesome. But then it was just like, all right, one other guy, and I was like, that's it. I was like, where's she at? I don't know. I had a lot of problems with the movie. Like I said, I felt like the battle scenes were a little underwhelming. Like underwhelming from
like scale.
Yes. Like it always looked awesome. All of the explosions, especially, were all awesome like that. like I said, the charges, the No Man's Land runs were always really good. Those were good. It was like right after that to me where it fell off a little bit. I feel like all the fight scenes were a little underwhelming.
Yeah, there's a lot of good one-on-ones though. But like you said, there wasn't a lot of like full-on melee
Bigger scale.
stuff.
Yeah.
But like they had a kill with like a shovel and like a guy got drowned, a guy got stabbed.
Right.
You know what part of the problem
bayoneted,
too?
shot in the head,
Yeah,
blown up,
like whatever you
blown
gotta
up,
do.
Fucking missed like.
Part of the problem with this whole thing for me too
10
is
kills.
this motherfucker. Because last week he said the word "Saving Private Ryan" and my head was just like.
Oh, that's on you. I never compared it to Saving Private Ryan.
I get what you said. Because you said it was like you said
the
it was
violence.
as gruesome.
The
I was like,
violence.
all right, I get what you're saying because there are a lot of scenes that are like like all the Germans who like took their masks off too early and shit. They get to like, that room. They're all. I was like, oh Jesus, that was intense. There was a few like very
gritty,
gruesome. Yeah. So I was like, I get what he's saying, but I was just like, that wasn't Saving Private Ryan, motherfucker.
Much more character development. Saving Private Ryan. I think it's what the difference was.
I mean, some of the most unbelievable battle sequences. I mean, the opening to Saving Private Ryan is the most exhilarating battle sequence of like any movie like ever made.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, a couple things were good about it. The effects looked good, filmed well. The kids did a good job. Like I thought Paul was good. I thought Kat was really good. Baron Zemo did a pretty good job. I liked his character. He was the only guy trying to maintain somewhat of
Like
a
enough
peace,
is enough.
I mean?
Yeah.
I liked him. So when I said that was Baron Zemo to Steph, she was like, "What? No way!" She's like, "He's so cute." I'm like, what? That's him? I was like, pulled up the picture on my phone. I was like, "Come on, you just give the guy a mustache and glasses."
Yeah. If there's ever a German movie or a movie just shot in Germany, he's probably in it. Or like something that requires like actors to speak German, he's probably in it.
Is that the guy from Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I ended up coming away. I gave this movie shout out Stu Fina. Favorite position, favorite number. I gave it a 6.9. Shout out Sandy. Shout out Sandy's ass.
Decent.
I feel like that's still not that bad though from an overall standpoint.
I mean, that's a D plus for me.
I'm confused by your scale too. Is it 1 to 10 or is it A to F?
Oh, my scale. Well, I mean, I always calibrate things over just because people look at things differently. I try to encompass it all, but my scale usually goes like on a figure skating scale. You know what I mean? That's typically what I do.
Right.
But
Because like if you're just eliminating the 0 to 60 like school does, then you're just limiting your scale, you know?
yeah, so if your movie has a beginning, middle, and an ending, and it's not like the worst piece of shit of all time, you're basically just gonna get like a 5 from me. It's like, all right, yeah, that was a movie that happened and it took place. And
Something can still get a 1 technically.
oh yeah, there are plenty of things that I hate. I gave Batman
said-
like a fucking 4.4 or something. Shit
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
we gave Halloween not too long ago. I said like 4.3
4s,
or
3s,
something.
something like that. The Haunting of Molly Hartley is like a 0.05. It's the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Thanks, Max.
Okay.
Murder on the Orient Express is like a 2, maybe a 2.1. There's a few up there. Mother's like a fucking 3, maybe a 3.1. There are some real baddies
So
up
you're
there.
on like the IMDb.
I feel like
scale.
just for your scale point, that movie's got to be for that to be like a 3 or a 2.
Oh yeah, it's got to be a real dumpster.
Like you just annihilated this movie for like half an hour. You're like, yeah, 6.9.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not that
getting
bad.
fucking people were loving it, and it's just like I don't know.
Well
there were
made.
things that I liked about it. Like I said, there was a lot that was good about it, but just I had high expectations going in. People were talking so highly about it. Even you gave it a great praise last week. I don't know.
Let me down, dog.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. Teach their own.
I need
I ain't saying
7.9s.
that. I ain't saying that. I ain't blaming Seth for that. But I always appreciate recommendations, and I'm glad I watched it. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been checking it out. It's like you were mentioning earlier, as far as that Netflix top scale there. It's like one of their top 10 movies for a while now.
Yep.
So I'm glad I checked it out. It wasn't awful, but it lacked. Actually, the movie I mentioned it last week on an episode. I couldn't think of the name of it, but I went and looked it up. I mentioned there's the Orlando Bloom one there. That was more recently, like Desert Storm, where they hide out in the valley. It's called The Outpost.
Okay.
That one was pretty good. Like for instance, that one, give me that movie any day.
All right.
But we kind of come, you say like that's still not that bad. But I was like, for instance, right away, I was like, you can't tell me that. Like to me, Don't Worry, Darling was a better movie than this. Like that's why I had Don't Worry. I had Don't Worry, Darling 7.4.
I think that's the one that confused me.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my
Because you said it was bad, and then you like gave it a 7.
I was fine up until that.
On IMDb, a 7 is good.
Don't Worry, Darling came with like a 7.4. It's like a C minus, C minus.
Right, C- is bad. 7 on IMDb is really good. That's why.
It's true.
Good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like for this movie, All's Quiet, I'd go like B to B plus, but on my like IMDb scale, maybe it would be like 6.9. You know, like I feel like those are similar.
Right.
Like a 6.9 should be like a B plus. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we can define our scale one day, maybe.
Yeah, like
Scale analysis.
Yeah.
Like I said, basically when I come out of the movie, I usually almost kind of start at 5. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, like that's where like my starting point is, and I almost either deduct or incline, basically, like from there.
Yeah.
So like if there's more good than bad, then we teeter and start going towards the right direction. If there's a lot of bad, we teeter in the wrong direction. It's kind of just
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like I said, it usually has to be pretty bad for me to really hate it. But like I said, there's always bad stuff. Like Jurassic World, that was a hard like 4 something. That was like 4-1.
That's generous.
It was generous. Yeah, I think it was right around the same thing I gave the Batman,
That's like
which was. You want to talk about long, man? Whoo, boy, oh boy, long. But 6.9. I couldn't give it. I couldn't give it a C. I don't like to go straight. I don't like to go flat numbers either. I don't like to go 7.
Flat's lame.
Yeah, I don't. I like goes. And 7.1, 6.9 is a big gap there for me. So I went 6.9.
Yeah, no rookie scores.
Yeah, 6 point. Yeah, no rookie scores. Yeah, there you go.
What do you think, Mitz?
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself. The fact that you lost me at Don't Worry, Darling was a better movie than that.
Don't Worry, Darling was a better movie.
Absolutely lost me.
Don't Worry, Darling was a better movie.
I kind of droned out listening to you after that for a little bit.
Don't Worry, Darling was a better movie.
I'm back now. I'm recentered. I'm focused. I'm ready to get to Andor. Wow. That's something else.
I'm not saying that either was good.
That movie had the same ending as fucking 20 movies before it.
Yeah, but this movie had the same ending for the last 100 years throughout history.
Because history, you can't change it. You can make a movie and change the ending if it's a fictional movie. If it's nonfiction like this is what it was.
Tell that to Inglourious Bastards.
Nick doesn't like sad movies.
I love sad movies. Still letting play
Yes,
I love sad movies.
That one, you're right.
I almost mentioned P.S. I love you on the Thanksgiving. I was like, that's probably too sad for people.
Just let it out, Nick. Just cry, man.
I love it. Yeah, you kidding me? You don't have to tell me, Luke. I'm always fucking crying.
I need a fucking drink after that.
I'm just saying, pound for pound, for the movie as a whole, better performances. And Don't Worry, Darling, I was more interested. I was more invested. I wasn't. I don't know.
Well,
when things got good, they weren't cut away.
Yeah. I don't know. You sound like you really hated Don't Worry, Darling.
Me? No, I said Don't Worry, Darling was an average.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was an average movie.
It was definitely a movie.
Yeah. That's a perfect example. I would start at 5. Some really good performances from Florence Pugh, Olivia Wilde. That boosted up a few points. The movie looked really cool. That gives it a few points.
I haven't seen it, so I
creep. That's when you start creeping towards.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. It's on HBO right
If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, darling. You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
It's on HBO, baby.
My girlfriend loves
Harry
Styles.
Styles.
Yeah, Harry.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I'm gonna see just how bad he was. I don't know. I came away the first time and I was like, he wasn't good, but he didn't I wasn't like, oh my god, this guy is.
Yeah, I think it was one of the
an abomination.
The least concerns that I had after the movie.
Yeah,
that people were shitting on.
I didn't like the ending. I'm not gonna say anything. I didn't like the ending, but I didn't like the death of 4 characters in this movie. I also didn't like that the best scenes were cut away from.
That's fair.
Yeah, valid.
That's why we do these podcasts.
Let's get to Andor.
I'm sure this will be much better. I'm sure this will brighten everybody's spirits.
Let's get to Andor. I'm going to start by giving the microphone to my fellas here. What do you guys think about episode 11? What are our thoughts? Do we like the episode?
I did not. I think they should have done some things a little bit differently, and it ended up where, by the end of it, that the character that was centered around the whole show is now his storyline is borderline last for me.
Oh,
this is one that other characters that I want to see their storylines wrap up. I care way more about than where Andor ends up next after the prison escape. Luthen's number one for me. This is one that Luthen I thought blew away the episode, and now where he ends up is what I care about more than where Andor ends up next.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think Luthen's character is very intriguing. One of the few intriguing characters on the show.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big problems with this show is I don't really care about anybody too much.
And we'll go into it, the things that bothered me. So I won't give away too much yet, but I just think the way they did certain things in this episode I didn't like, and I think if they would have changed it a little bit, I think it would have made it for a more entertaining episode.
Fair. Luke, thoughts? Episode 11?
Yeah, I think they dialed it back a little bit. I think it still fits in with the show, and I think it's gonna be promising. There's some awesome scenes, but definitely slow too. Like you said, they kind of wrapped up Andor's whole storyline for the most part. We all kind of assume he's gonna be fine wherever the next place he ends up. He just went through the prison. It's not really like a big mystery. We're just gonna see where it is, where he settles in next. But it's kind of Luthen's story now, and he has some badass moments. But yeah, I agree with you guys that it was a little bit turning down a notch from last episode.
And you weren't expecting it
compared to the other things. Yeah. I mean they wrapped up a huge storyline. Maybe they messed up by not advancing Andor's as much in this episode. They should have done both a little bit more, but.
And I think what they did with his storyline, that's the part that bothers me the most about the whole episode. It was his storyline in this episode.
Oh yeah, just like him getting caught again, or like
no, just the way that the whole episode was centered around the way that they did it. I think if they would have done it a different way, I would have liked more. Yeah. Like I don't want to get into it, but until we start breaking it down. But I think his storyline, like if they changed a big aspect of it, I think at least would have been better than what they did. I didn't like how it ended up.
I'm not gonna lie. First things first, this show should not be 12 episodes long. This show has been way too fucking long. I am so happy that it's ending next week. I can't even begin to describe it. This show has been going on for way too long.
Basically like 3 mini seasons though. It's not. I'm cool with getting rapid fire.
And there's still a lot of meat on the bone for the last episode. Long as there's meat on the bone for the last episode,
there is, but we've taken way too long to get there. We could have cut in like 3 episodes right out of this fucking show, basically.
Yeah.
You could have taken like 10 minutes from a couple of episodes, squeezed it into other parts of other episodes, and you could have just straight up cut like 3 episodes of this entire series. It's been way too fucking long. And I like that they're very intricate with their storytelling details, but it's been too much. Even like what you were just kind of referencing with the Andor thing. It's like it's too much.
Or it's like what I was saying, like time out when people say that it's the best Star Wars thing that has come out.
It's
like
not
this
even
is barely
close,
Star Wars.
Man. It's barely, dude. That's one of my biggest things, man.
Which is what I actually that's one of the things that I like about it is that it's not Star Wars, but I just think like time out when we're talking about things like that. Not to say they've come out with a lot of great shit with Star Wars recently, but to say 40 years like this is the best thing that's come out, like
it's good scenes.
Time out.
One of the things that's crazy to me is that I feel like every season now, there's been a couple people that chirp online that like Mandalorian just has like a filler episode where they just go like on a random side mission that serves no purpose.
This was awesome,
and it's always a good time.
Yeah,
like it's always just a fun ass episode.
Yeah,
it's like no one's saying that these episodes are just like filler episodes. Like there's nothing that happened. There is no fun time. It's not like we're having a good time at least while we do it. It's just more boring slog. And like you just referenced, I was the first person that was saying I want Star Wars stuff that is outside of the Skywalker saga. Like I'm sick of the Skywalkers. We've done it. Like we've beaten it to hell. Like all right, I'm good. Let's tell more stories. It's a huge galaxy. While I want new stories, that does not mean that I don't want Star Wars.
Yeah,
I still want Star Wars. And again, I'm going to say right off the top, Jedi is the first thing that comes to mind. I get that, but there necessarily doesn't have to be Jedi. But whether it's bounty hunters, just simple like droids. The show has a super lack of droids, which is droids, huge part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
No like beasties, you know what I'm saying? No big beasts. Mandalorian's always throwing in these new things, sandworms, fucking whatever it is. You know what I mean? These huge things. There's nothing like Star Wars about the show.
Yeah.
Nothing about it.
They weren't like beasts in this one, but the creatures in this one sucked. Sucked.
No,
human guys.
no, like, all right, so
they're cool, I guess, but
couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying too. Even when I put subtitles on, I was
onesies,
like,
twosies.
Still don't know what the fuck this guy is saying.
On the groundsies.
I saw somebody else say it online, but as soon as I read it, instantly I was like, that's such a good call. Like Cassian just went to that prison, right? Whatever it was, Nakia 5 there. He was in there with all these people. It was just all humans.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single alien race species guy anywhere in that entire room.
Right.
It's like there's nothing fucking Star Warsy about the show.
Right.
And at first, I remember when we go back to our first recap from episodes 1 through 3, at the time I totally agreed. You said like this is like a spy thriller with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I feel that. Now to me, this feels like a fucking political drama that takes place in space. I was like, there's no. I just lack any emotion when I'm watching the show, dude. I don't feel anything when I'm not even trying to be an asshole. I'm dead serious. I don't laugh. I don't get nervous. I don't get excited. I don't get scared. I don't fucking.
It just ends and you're like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly.
Well, I'm gonna go get up and smoke a butt now, or like do something else.
It's like yes, that's exactly how I feel. Sad. Every single episode that it ends, I'm just like,
Everyone, yeah.
yeah, pretty much. And it's not like I've said it 1,000 times. It's a well-made show. Like it looks really good. You can tell that shooting it on scene has been way better than say like Obi-Wan or Boba Fett. A lot of good acting performances. There's a lot that's good with the show. The sound is awesome. Like every time there's a fucking TIE fighter or something that like fucking surround
they
sound in my
emphasize
house
it
starts
for sure.
sounding, like, you know, the speakers are shaking. I'm like, oh shit, TIE fighter. It sounds awesome. I'm like,
Like,
all
look
right.
outside.
Yeah, for real. But I'm just like, there's no fucking pop. There's no explosion. There's no fireworks. Like, even the Aldani heist was the closest thing to it, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, it was good, but it wasn't, like, great. I wasn't like, oh, my God, fucking the Aldani heist is fucking amazing. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. This show just leaves a lot on the table for me. And the way that people are acting about it, it's just like, I feel like people are just almost forgetting that fucking Mandalorian is a thing that's coming back in a couple months. It's just like, dude, the Savior's coming, dude. This
You know
is
what's
the
funny
way.
is that they're probably gonna forget about Andor once Mandalorian does
Good.
come out.
I hope they do.
That's nothing against nothing against Andor. I think Luke, you and I both
Yeah, I like it.
praise it a little bit more.
Yeah, I like it.
I got one more thing, actually, before we dive into the episode that I was bothered. While I like her character, because I think she's a good character, I think Deidre's a good character. At the same time, the fact that she is, like, the main villain for this show irks me.
See, I like it.
It irks me. Like I said, I don't mind that if she was, like, the second in command, of which I know that's, like, her role is the second in command, but she very much, the way that the show is filmed, it makes it feel like she's the main bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So, if she was, like, taking, like, for instance, even, like, and again, Mandalorian, you got the Chicken Man there from Breaking Bad. He's not a Sith, but he's got this cool black outfit. He's got the dark saber. Like, he's intimidating. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's just a presence.
Right.
This girl, man, she's just a hot ass. Like, that's all she is. If she had been born on Earth instead of whatever planet she was, she'd be a fucking bank teller worried about fucking bank loans and shit like that. And she'd be giving her employees hell.
Right.
No matter
She
what,
says,
she's
like,
just going to be a hot ass.
Yeah, she says positional power.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
like any. Yeah.
I think she's kind of playing it the same way that Luthen is playing his side, where like they're like right now at least it's not like necessarily a stalemate, but I feel like both her side and Luthen's side, like nobody wants to make any like rash decisions. You know what I mean? Like quick
definitely.
impulse decisions that are gonna fuck everything up.
Definitely.
And like you see it on both sides actually, Deidre and Luthen in this episode. But
Chess match.
yeah, I just feel like maybe that's what the problem is that there's a lot of, like you said, just chess and pawns being moved around right now, and not a whole lot of action.
Yep. You mentioned it in text earlier today. Mon Mothma's got a bunch of screen time, and every single scene,
I'm tired of that storyline. I'm tired of that storyline.
All we talked about, every single scene that she is in, it's all she talks about. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I can't move any money. We know.
It's like, yeah,
we know.
It's been this way for 8 episodes now. Like, we know, we get it. Can we either figure out a solution, or can it finally be a problem?
Right.
Can the Empire finally come a knocking?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like I said, I'm excited for this show to be getting wrapped up because I've
had enough.
I've had enough. I have had enough. I'm just like, okay, like
No mas.
Yeah.
I need K2 in this show bad. Like I said, even Droid, there's no Star Warsy vibes, man.
You got
There's
some
nothing.
B2? You got some B2 in this one?
Finally, and he was just sad, which made me sad. I don't
Well, you
to
like
see
sad.
B2.
You like sad.
I don't like to see B2 sad. I'm sad. I like to see B2
You're supposed to cheer me
cry.
up.
Exactly.
This guy wants to see Jar Jar Binks run around the field with the fucking Gungan shield. And
I love Jar Jar Binks.
Yay!
He's like your friend. So.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping for the fucking the Darth Jar Jar storyline to come to fruition at some point.
Oh shit! What's that one?
Oh, they've been mentioned. That was like
Theory that
one of
he's a
those
Sith Lord.
rumors, but
Yeah, he's a Sith Lord.
Disney's
guy?
been kicking it around.
Jar Jar Binks, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a Sith Lord.
He was supposed to be Count Dooku's character before Count Dooku was like Count Dooku, basically.
And they say a lot of things that he does that show that he has force powers and things like that.
What?
It's actually very convincing, yeah.
It's awesome.
It's one of those like Reddit things. God bless Reddit.
Is he the clumsiest fucker ever? Like he fucks up all kinds of stuff.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
like they show who would be this clumsy to
Exactly.
be doing this stuff,
Oh,
or is it just I'm clumsy like
Being a character.
whoops
Yeah,
I'm just Jar Jar just like doing my thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
he's-
digging it
There's
now.
more to
Evil
it.
Sith the whole time. It's fucking great. It's
Wow.
absolutely awesome. And the fucking some of the writers at Disney have said that it was like
Deep undercover.
there was more like there was like that was basically like on a whiteboard at one point virtually. Like it was an idea that they like kicked around and shit like that. I was like, let's do it. Let's get a side story going on. Darth Jar Jar, baby. That'd be sick.
Oddly useless and very helpful at the same time.
be awesome. I don't know.
He's all suspicious now that you say it.
Even fucking most Star Wars shit makes you laugh here and there. It's not like a comedy, obviously, but they throw in some punchline kind of thing.
Yeah.
This show doesn't even do that.
I don't think it's meant to be that.
I know it's not, but it's like, give me something to do. I'm fucking just sitting here watching this. I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Hey, what about the spaceships?
I get
Spaceships are
it.
cool.
What about the spaceships? They're cool.
We used some spaceships. We used some Star Wars ammo this time, right?
Yeah.
The spaceship scene in this episode was awesome.
You know what's funny too is one of the things that Seth already said he doesn't like was the aliens in this. I was like, finally some aliens. All right, these guys are goofy. I get it. I like them. They got their ship, their shitty little ship.
Some like plot holes
Let's
in
fly
that.
out of here.
But let's get into the episode. We'll be able to break it.
Yeah, let's dive into it. Daughters of Fennec, episode 11. We open up. We see Cassie and Melshi. They're scaling this fucking mountain. And they're getting right towards the top. And it looks like they've been chilling here for a minute. Because fucking Melshi's arms are like shaking and shit like that. It turns out they're basically waiting for the Empire to take off.
That is ruthless climbing up the side of that mountain with no fucking shoes.
Yup. And then think about, dude, so like what you just said, that's a terrifying thought, right? And then you get to you finally get to the top. And you feel all of this like, oh, finally we made it. It's like, oh my God, we have to just dangle here now until the Empire decides to leave, because obviously we're not going to climb all the way back down. Yeah. It's like, all right, just like find a position that's somewhat comfortable. It's like a fucking challenge on Survivor.
Tell me they're leaving, please.
Yeah, for real. But we see the Empire actually fly off. We kind of get what I said, a TIE fighter flying off. We get that, like that. The sound effects in the show are awesome. Like I said, every time the ships are flying around, it sounds dope.
Very, very true. Very true.
But right away, like you said.
Yeah, a little cheesy. Like yeah, why wouldn't you just shift a little bit to get some footholds to go with your handholds, Well, make it 5 times better. But they're just hanging by a thread.
Yeah, he was struggling, you could tell. Andor seemed pretty calm. He probably did what you just said. He seemed like he was pretty cool and collected.
Yeah. They did have one other little like theme callback thing where I don't know if he said it, but I think he said like, what you have to do or something like that, where they're climbing again. Climb is what nice. Nemec yelled at him to do and when he's flying the spaceship out of Aldhani, and that's what K2's final words are going to be in Rogue One.
And they're climbing the prison.
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Climbing the stairs.
Go to the top. Yep. Exactly.
Nice.
So a little movie storytelling tidbit there, but
that's good stuff. I like that.
There you go. You gotta just look for that stuff, Nick.
Yeah, it's something.
It's a little cheesy still. They're just kind of forcing the climb a little bit, but
like I said, K2 cannot get into the show fast enough, man.
Yeah, he's looking for like fucking BB-8 in the corner or something.
I'm waiting for something.
Yay!
We go to Phoenix, and we do an interesting little scene here. We're like at Marva's house, but it's kind of dark at first. You just kind of hear some women's voices, and we kind of learn that Marva's passed away. And they're talking about some particular item that they mentioned. They say, leave it for Cassian, whatever that's supposed to mean. And they're assuming that Cassian's going to be coming back, though. Which, we see B2. He's awfully just devastated.
He's emo.
Yeah, he is emo. B2 is emo right now.
He's emo.
Andor's left. Marva's dead
He's
now.
got the hair over the eye.
Yeah. He freaking broke me down. Fucking that construction working friend there. He was like, I can clear the room out for you if you want to pay your last respects. And he's just like, I don't want to be alone. I was just like, oh, no.
I want Marva.
Yeah, I want Marva. Yeah, he did the thing again. Marva. I was like, oh, no, B2. Don't do that to me, man.
Yeah.
And then, what is it?
Poor little guy.
Yeah, for real. Big time poor little guy vibes. And then, again, too, he doubles down. He wants to go with the construction worker friend. He's like, I don't want to be alone. Like, I want to come with you so that I can come. And the construction worker guy just kind of like blows him off. He's like, nah, the Daughters of Phoenix need your help here organizing things. There's a lot for you to do.
Yeah, there's a very important mission for you.
Yeah. It's like, don't fucking treat him like a child.
Like a baby.
It's fucked up. But now I feel bad. Cassian's got to come rescue this guy. So what do you guys mentioned, like him putting B2 into K2, basically? Like his
I think that was Luke, right?
I don't know. I think that was you.
I don't know. What do you guys mention? Because I know it wasn't me. But
if I did, it was just a random throwout. It's not a full theory.
All right.
I like that reprogram.
I'll take credit, but you never
idea.
know. Yeah. Is that a thing? Have they done that?
I mean,
is it just like K2 a consciousness chip kind of thing that they can put into different?
That's what I'm thinking.
I would imagine.
Droids seemed pretty fucking evil the last time we saw him, so just kind of like microchips.
Some rewiring, yeah.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Just gets his post-pubescent voice and turns into K2.
That'd be so funny if he just came out of it and he's like, I don't have a stutter. He just starts saying all the names you can ever say. He's like, Bix, Marva. This is wild.
Look at me.
Look at me. Before we leave Fennec, though, as we kind of leave this scene, B2 is going to be hanging out with these daughters of Fennec while this construction worker guy goes and does whatever he's going to go do. We see that Cinta and this Imperial officer are still both, casing the joint. They're still staking out right across the way, just keeping tabs on what's going on. But now with Marva's passing, they got to be kind of like, all right, something might finally happen now.
Yeah.
Cassie might be coming back.
Do we pounce to attack now? Do we wait?
Yeah. We see Cassian and Melshi. They finally reach this, mountaintop. They're kind of exploring their new terrain. They come across these two aliens, which is kind of something I mentioned earlier. Don't really have any aliens so far in this show. We come across these two guys. Looks like they're fishing. They got this very just shitty old beater of a ship. Looks like a fucking old rundown car, but the ship version. And Cassian's like, I don't know if I can fly this thing. This thing looks like fucking hell old.
Garbage.
Melshi, though, fucking this motherfucker, dude, just like doesn't even just like goes in a full out sprint. Like, this is it. I know it. I can feel it.
I thought this was so dumb.
Cassian was just like, oh, I got no other choice but to follow this guy. And then what I liked though is that the fishermen, these two alien guys, they're just like fat fucking alien looking fishermen. They're just not even they're just minding their own business. They're just like not even worried about these two guys sprinting off. They just like tap a button, spider webs shoot out, and they fucking trap them both.
Yeah. It was just how the next scene is like how they get at it. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It was kind of.
I just thought it was. I thought it was very dumb.
Yeah. Right away though, I thought it was kind of dumb. I was just like, we're not being captured again, are we? Like we've been captured 15 times.
Right.
Like,
but the whole thing is like they realize that they don't mean them any harm. Like, what do you mean they don't mean you any harm? They just like Usain bolted it over to your ship. They're about to hijack your ship.
Yeah.
What do you mean they weren't going to mean you any harm?
They seem like simpleton aliens.
They seem like it. Like they seem like they were going to conscious from fucking harm. What do you mean? They're just like, oh yeah, you're all set.
Very sympathetic race, whatever they are.
Yeah, they were. They cracked me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
They did seem to hate the Empire, right? Big time.
They like, them for, always the Empire.
Yeah, big time anti-Empire.
They blamed them for poisoning the
water.
The water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the whole water supply.
So they're just like, you guys need to ride to Miami.
Yeah. Pack your bags. We're going to Miami, baby.
Miamos or whatever. Mianos or
Yeah. Niamos or whatever the hell. But yeah, they're captured for right now again in another trap. Spiderweb looking. The
like
trap that they get is very gunky.
Seaweed, not seaweed looking, but like
Remind me of like fucking Peter Parker's spiderwebs. You know what I'm saying? Like that fucking sling him up venom. Then he ties him to a building or something like that, kind of a thing. Waiting for the police to come get him. Yeah. It was real gross looking.
Yeah, it was.
But I just thought it was funny how they weren't even like these two idiots.
Yeah. You fools.
And we had to call them simpletons.
Are they like the hillbillies of Star Wars?
Yeah. That's good. Actually, I like that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's basically what they were to me. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at that car.
Yeah, for real. They even like mentioned at one point, actually, that's not later on, but they like the bounties for dead or alive. Well, shit.
What in tarnation?
But we leave them, like I said, they're captured for right now. We go to Deidre, and she's gonna start giving out some orders. She's gonna basically get told that Marv has passed away, and because she's lived on Fennec for so long, she's like a very renowned citizen, basically. So she's gonna get a big funeral service. It's gonna be a big ordeal. And
they're custom too.
Yeah, customs. Yep. The Fennec people want to shut down like a whole street. They said they've been putting in all these requests and shit like that. And to this point, the Empire's been shutting them down, obviously. But Deidre's like, nah. Fuck that. Give them the request because we want this funeral to happen. Keep the numbers limited. Don't let like too many people in. But we let all the fish into the tank basically, and then we can kind of trap.
If you get them all in one hot spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We could watch them, keep tabs on the whole thing. I'm sure there's gonna be some questionable suspects when we get Andor, when we get Luthen, whoever the fuck. But again, Deidre fucking thinking 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, and again, still not making the impulse decision. She doesn't want to piss them off. But I feel like, she doesn't want to jump the gun if something were to happen at this funeral. You know what I mean? Like, she's still playing the long game, and she just wants people to, like we said, like be in a hot spot. And if it draws in some names, then maybe they can get some more information then. But I don't think her plan was to, like, just light them up at the funeral. You know what I mean? Like, they just wanted to see, like, like throw a little lure out there and see if she can get any big fish that can come to the funeral.
Definitely. To be honest, though, kind of what I was saying earlier, if she wants to be a big bad for the season, if she lured them all in and just murder them, that might make me convince myself, all right, you know what? Now you got my attention, Deidre.
Or just say, like, fuck their funeral. Like, bury her, like, in the sand out in the fucking...
Yeah.
Bring her to Tatooine and bury her in the sand.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
She's still playing the long game.
She's been pretty hardcore so far, though, right?
Yes.
She was pretty freaking ruthless to Bix. Like,
that's true.
That's some strict torture right there. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if she takes any action here. Like, if she's, how ruthless she is. How far she willing to go. How pissed is she?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll have an interaction with the undercover guy who's hiding in the ISB.
Yep. That's definitely going to lead to something there. I have to imagine that. We're doing a lot to keep this guy intact in his position.
Yeah, you find out more later on too.
For sure.
The steps that we're taking.
Like you mentioned a second ago too, we find out about the interesting little Phoenix custom that they have there, where you basically they take your remains and they turn you virtually into a stone brick to then be used in one of the city's walls, so that you kind of always serve the city in death. I thought that was interesting. I'm not necessarily sure that's what I would want my remains to be done with, but I thought it was kind of cool in a way.
Even like Deidre's reaction too, like she was just kind of like, okay, like, all right, if that's what you do,
right?
So be it.
A little strange.
It's kind of like planting a tree seed or whatever along with your body, kind of thing. Like Native Americans becoming one with the earth, becoming one with the city.
Yeah, I like the idea of serving, like you said, serving the city kind of in death and kind of thing. I get that. You're a real proud of your homeland kind of a thing. Yeah,
she definitely was. That's why she didn't leave.
Didn't want to leave. It's true. It's a good point.
She still just came there as a refuge though, right? Like she wasn't. I don't know. She isn't from there, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they don't really tell us. Yeah, we still don't know what's going on with his sister or any of those Canary people. Like. That hasn't come up again since early.
It's true.
Early
literally how the show started, this whole entire show started because he was looking for his sister. That's what started this whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
I haven't thought about those flashbacks. Perfect example of how useless some shit is in this show. And I'm saying we can cut time out and cut episodes. What the fuck were the point of those flashbacks?
They must be getting to it this time, right? They must.
Get to when?
Yeah.
Now, one episode.
I mean, they're going to do that Game of Thrones thing.
They're proof for season 2.
From now, they're going to say, previously on Andor.
Yeah, right.
Remember way back 18 episodes ago in season 1 when these characters were in the show? Well, guess what?
Yeah. You'll definitely see it on. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll definitely show it on a flashback.
Oh, my God.
And you'll once again be like, oh. That's right. I honestly forgot about it until you just said it.
Yeah. That's where Marva came from.
Right? Yeah, good point. I did too. That instantly though, I think of the fucking the Benjen Stark return. It's like fucking we just ruined this guy's return if you just watched it previously on Game of Thrones. It's like no one's seen Benjen in 4 seasons, and all of a sudden just like previously Benjen was on. You know what I mean? It's like season 2, and all of a sudden he comes back as a White Walker, fucking flying through the night.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, or some stupid thing about Arya being good with a dagger or something.
Yeah. Good call.
Oh, she's going to use it now. Thanks. Got it.
No shit. Way to just ruin your fucking episode.
Yeah.
But again, Deidre, like we said, playing chess, one step ahead as always. I like her character. I just don't love her as the main big bad. That's my thing.
She should be
good
badder.
character. Yeah.
More bad.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Either bring in a bigger bad, like we mentioned, introduce even the Emperor for a fucking minute or two. Just, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Deidre, I think you're doing real fucking good. Fucker.
I think you're gonna get. There's something I didn't read any spoilers about next episode, but there's something that I'll mention at the end that they're talking about for next episode that I feel like if they're gonna do it, it's got to be something like that. But I'll put a little hang tag on that until later.
All right, fair enough. We go back to Andor, and we see that the aliens, they're all giddy. They're giddy as hell. They caught themselves a nice little prize. They're like, we got some runners here. We can sell these for $1,000 a head. Like I mentioned earlier, they're like dead or alive. You know what I mean? And then Andor's like, yo, we're not fucking Empire guys that ran away. We're prisoners that ran away from the Empire. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, well, fucking the Empire sucks, kind of like what you mentioned. They poisoned the entire planet's water supply. So they're pretty pissed off about that. And kind of as soon as they hear that they're on the run from the Empire, they're like, all right. Like, they let them right out of the fucking net real quick. Where you guys headed? You got to get off planet, obviously.
I just thought it was just like, I don't know, like lazy is the word to say it, but I just thought it was kind of just stupid.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like, what do you mean they're not?
They talk themselves into letting them go, and then it's like,
where
do you want to go?
Yeah, right. Oh, they're no enemies of us. Like, you just saw them sprinting. They were about to hijack your ship if you didn't have that net to catch them.
Yeah, but they didn't.
It's like, what do you mean they weren't going to cause you any harm? So just go down there and explain to them what's going on.
But what if they were
Hey,
mean
this is our
aliens?
story. Then there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. You just broke out of this Empire prison. I'm sure you can figure it out. Grab the fucking fishing spear or whatever it is they're using and fucking take both of them out and get the ship and get out of here.
Now Nick's
These
defending it.
2 guys?
What's going on here? Now Nick's defending it.
I'm defending the aliens just because I need something that's related to Star Wars. I'm like, the only thing that's Star Wars is that we're in space. It's like the setting, the stars. Like, all right, cool.
I'm like, fuck these aliens.
Give me at least it's something, man. I need something. Like, I'm watching Star Wars. Like I said, I'm all for new stories. Like, I had in mind maybe we cast Ian from Shameless to do his character from the video game. That's awesome.
Yeah, I would love
Or
that.
we fucking take the Jedi from Rebels.
Kestis.
Yeah. He's got a droid, he's a Jedi, he's on the run from the Empire.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I
Has
would
nothing
love
to do
that.
with the Skywalkers. The kid from Rebels there, I've never seen Rebels, but I know that he's a Jedi basically on the run, hiding out with this little crew battalion. Let's give him a show. That's different. Or let's do what Mandalorian did. Let's go fucking you know what? Let's go follow a badass bounty hunter. Not like that Mando's not badass, but like a bad guy bounty hunter. We're doing Rogue One, it's a little dark and grittier. Let's go follow like a bad guy in his heyday.
Young Boba Fett kind of thing? Or
Yeah.
Young Jango Fett? I forget which one.
Some fucking just straight up G who's like, just going out and like hunting all these fucking dudes or something like that.
Worry about the timeline where you get like a teenage Boba Fett too.
Some shit, yeah. Like, it doesn't even have to, like I said, make a new character if you want. I don't care. Some fucking new gangster ass up and coming bounty hunter, you know what I mean? During the heart of the Empire is fucking traveling around, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be cool. I can get into that.
What was the one for the Grand Inquisitor?
Grand Inquisitors.
You know,
There's tons of things that we can do. I'm just saying, get away from the Skywalkers, but I still want to watch Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The pre-Mandalorian stuff is cool too. I didn't really watch that animated show, but it was
Perfect.
no, which one was it?
Oh, they're talking about like Mandor, like the Mandor Wars and shit like that, when they fought for Mandor.
No, it's the
Mandalorian.
the Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch.
Yeah, I think they get some of those characters in Bad Batch. They're like the
I would say,
pre-Mandalorian guys.
was it Alcatraz? Oh, fuck, she was in
Catan.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't think of her name.
I don't know either.
She's fucking a badass, though. She's one of
It's
those other
Cal.
3 Mandalorians that comes up.
Yeah, the
She's
Cal
like
is her
leading the
name?
3 of them.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And she is actually the same character that's in the Mandalorian too.
Yeah,
She-
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think they need to keep spinning off them.
That's
a cool
what
group. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Let's do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
New stories, but we're still in Star
I think this is still a hit. This is still a win, honestly, to me. I know you're hating on.
Definitely.
This
is.
episode's a reasonable one to hate on, which I feel you. I think
It's not even this episode. It's just the whole
it's
show.
a low.
show.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
agree.
Overall, it's a
fucking
massive
slow.
hit.
Yeah.
I know it is. People love it.
To me, I'm saying like to me,
to
it's
you?
a massive hit.
Yeah. People love it.
People, your people.
I'm just so bored. I'm just so bored. But like I said,
You're getting old. You're getting old. You don't like Star Wars anymore.
I give
Your powers are weak, old man.
I'm not gonna go there, but at least like there was that, at least a couple times in like the last 2 episodes of Boba Fett, Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah, they had to bring in Daddy because the show was fucking sucking so bad.
But you know what? Those episodes got a reaction, way more of a reaction out of me than anything that's happened through 11 episodes of this show.
They're like, oh, this show sucks. Let's call in the big guns.
You said you didn't see Boba Fett, did you?
I didn't watch Boba Fett.
Oh, you gotta watch the last 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes aren't even Boba Fett. It's Mandalorian 2.5.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
It's literally just Mandalorian.
Yeah, I love Mando. I've watched front to back twice, Mando.
Picks up right where it left off in fucking season 2.
Still better than Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it's better, but like, I don't know. At least Obi-Wan, I fucking laughed at how bad it was. It gave me something. I felt something. This show, I don't feel nothing. I'm dead inside when I watch it.
Yeah.
You think Obi-Wan was like a 5 to you? Like, I think that was decent.
Obi-Wan was just
There was some
like,
shitty stuff, but I think it was good.
6'1".
I just think you're drifting away from the main. It's like I said at the beginning. You're drifting away from the whole thing of you just gotta treat this as a spy thriller that's happens to be Star Wars. I think you're drifting back to wanting more Star Wars, and you're just not gonna get that with this show.
I want to
Just
feel
not.
like at least I'm in. Like I said, give me some aliens. Give me more.
The
droids.
prison was
Mitsu
weird.
Emo is like an awesome part of the show, but he's
No,
the only
that is a
droid
good
really
call on the prison. You definitely could have thrown in some different species.
some species
in the prison
You know what I
cell.
mean?
Yeah.
Make it feel like we're in Star Wars. Kind of
Right.
what I'm saying. That's all. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Even if it was just like security, like there was a different race that was better for security or
True.
something. It's weird that it would just all be
Something.
humans.
Yeah.
Are humans just like thumbs are a special thing for humans compared to like aliens too? Like
Watch out for these guys.
Or
They
those
got-
machines were like elite
they got
machinists.
thumbs.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that'd be like the only good explanation, but I doubt that's it.
Or even say like we didn't really love what Cassian did this episode, but say if maybe when Cassian and Melshi are running now, they're out on the run, they're running through this new terrain, they come across like some fucking kind of beastie to fight real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Give us a little action sequence where the two of them have to fight off some little beastie that they don't know about on this new planet, kind of a thing.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They totally should have done that. Yeah.
Something like that, kind of. You know what I mean?
Don't think you're gonna get that, bud.
I know, but what the fuck, man?
It's not in the budge.
All right. As we leave, they give him a ride, but I thought it was pretty funny that we saw that the ship was a beater. It was really a beater once it started
the way it starts is hilarious.
The whole thing's shaking too.
Yeah.
Fucking.
A car that hasn't been started in fucking 4 months.
Grandma's old Buick.
Yeah.
We go to Luthen's shop, even though Luthen's not going to be there. His assistant's there. She's working on something. Who shows up with Vel? Vel's looking for Luthen, wants to know where he's at. And the assistant's like, yo, you should not be here. You are like breaking all of our rebel rules right now. You're like breaking character. Like, you should get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Vel's like, it's an emergency. It can't wait till tomorrow, kind of a thing. And then she relays the message basically that Marv has died, and that there's a good chance that Cassian's probably going to show up for the funeral.
And it ties into the same kind of setting as everything in his shop, where they're still walking around like acting as if they're shopping.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They don't change character for 1 second in that shop.
Yep.
They're still kind of walking around like as if they're looking for something to buy.
Yeah, even at the beginning when Vel first walks in, she says, my cousin comes and shops here a lot. And they're like, oh, are you looking for something
new? For her.
Yeah, something for her.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And when Vel was like talking in the wrong direction or something too, she was like talking towards the glass.
Yep.
She's like, you're breaking all the rules right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think this also confirms that this is the same girl that was at that original meeting with Vel too, right? The thing we were talking about last week.
You think so?
Confirms that the assistant is
I still don't know
that girl.
Is it? Yeah. I'll take your word.
I mean, it seemed like a continuation of that conversation.
I don't think this is the first time that they've talked.
And this was definitely
This one was a little hostile. I'll say that.
Well, the first one was too.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of had a little pissing contest, though, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I just did Aldani. What have you fucking done lately?
She just had one. She had one line. I don't know if you wrote it down. I think Vel says something like, like what have you given? And she's like,
you sacrificed.
Right. She's like, I have it all. Like I have forever or something like that. I should have wrote it down, but
it was her version of the Luthen speech from last week.
Yeah, same exact thing. Yeah.
It's a good way to it's a good way to describe it.
I wish I remembered what it was too. It was
an awesome line.
Yeah.
I have always, just like you have now. I have always, or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, that's what it was. What have you done lately? Like there's no lately. There's always. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sick. Yeah. There's no lately for me.
Right.
There's always.
There's always.
And it's because of idiots like you that have to clean up after.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was her Luthen moment. But I think it also was definitely the same girl. I think it's the same thing.
Gotta be.
At this point.
Yeah.
And she looks like Leia.
I do think that could be true. I mean, I guess I hadn't thought about it again. I know you mentioned it last week, but I didn't even think about it when I was watching it this week. But yeah, it definitely could be. I like her character though. I like that she's so defensive for Luthen, man. She will not be cracking. Rider,
she will not be cracking anytime soon.
No, she's a rider, man. She really has his best interest. Like,
I guess not. Never mind. I was gonna say that she was kind of betraying Luthen in that original scene we saw, because she said to kill Cassian and that we can't have Luthen running around in his head. Mm-hmm. But it turns out that's what Luthen wants to.
Yeah. Actually, we're gonna see that big time from Luthen himself this episode,
right?
Because that's he's after he gets something else done, that's where he goes after.
So they.
But that was a good little scene. We go back to Phoenix and we kind of see that the Cinta there and the Imperial Guard, they're still eagerly awaiting outside, kind of just waiting for Cassian to show up. You know what I mean? The construction worker, he finally returns from wherever the hell he went off to. B2's happy, which makes me happy.
Yep. He's
all excited. Like, I'm so happy you're back. You know what I mean?
Come on, get out there, big. Like, we got to get outside or something. Like, come on, big dog. He looks like Jimmy Fallon in Fever Pitch. Just like, come on, we open these blinds. Like, we gotta get you out. Come on, let's go. Take a shower or something. Let's go. Come on.
Fucking the Collier Screpsey song's playing.
I am the Red Sox. I am the Red Sox. Now we know. Like, come on, let's go.
But I thought it was fun. I loved the scene just because the construction worker is like, all right, B, like, you're going to come home with me, which made me happy. I'm like, all right, cool. B2's not going to be alone. And then he goes, no, I can't leave. I'm charging. And the guy goes, you've been there all day long.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't want to leave. Like, how about you stay here? And the guy's like, all right, fine, one night. And as soon as he says one night, BT just comes flying right off the charge. He's just like, all right, cool, let's hang out now. You know what I mean?
What do you want to do?
I was like, all right, here we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, there we go. That's the kind of shit I like to see. I like to see B2 happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was one of the scenes that I actually really enjoyed. We go to a character that Luke mentioned a few minutes ago that we haven't seen in a little bit. We see Bix. She is still being held prisoner, and she looks like shit. She looks sickly even. She looks pale. She looks beaten up.
Yeah, this torture is annihilating her.
Yeah. She looks like she hasn't like eaten. She looks malnourished.
Yeah.
Everything about her. She looks like shit. And she's being brought in for more questioning. She was like in her little prison cell. She's being brought in for more questioning. And they basically just show like this like random fat dude. I don't think it's anybody that we know of from previously in the show or other parts of the show.
I think he's one that I've heard the name before. I think he ties into, I don't know if it's the Clone Wars or another like Star Wars piece, but he does
He does tie to somewhere
like
else?
Star Wars people would know that they've heard that name before.
All right, that's what
Krieger.
that was a reference that I missed. If it was
Yeah.
somebody,
Yep.
good call.
I don't know what it was. I think I might have heard Saul mention it even before. I don't know if he mentioned it in Rogue One, but he does tie in somewhere down the line with other Star Wars shows.
Interesting. But they were asking if this guy is the Axis character, aka Luthen.
Yeah.
They're on the search for him. They're like, all right, take a good look, kind of a thing. You met him before. Is this him? And she doesn't respond, but she kind of like breaks down. She kind of starts crying, and I was thinking like in my head, is this supposed to be kind of like a performance by her? Like she doesn't want to like admit that like let's say if this was him, she doesn't want to admit that it's him. So she starts almost like breaking down, crying because she's so badly beaten, but she doesn't want to keep suffering more and lying more.
Yeah.
Almost to kind of, like I said, a performance to try and sway them in the other direction to think, all right, this is actually the guy. That was the only way I could take it. I didn't
wasn't clear
really
to
have
me.
another interpretation, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't clear to me either. Yeah, she seems broken, but kind of hiding stuff too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was more about her, about the crack. I think she's just had it because he's like, don't make me bring the doctor in here again.
Yeah. What is she gonna do though? Like, is she just gonna like start like she gonna start like giving like a description of Luthen basically, like blonde hair, fucking.
Yeah, how do they know that they've exhausted all the information? Like.
Yeah, that's a good point too. How do you exactly? That's a good point.
Okay,
too.
I'll finally tell you the truth.
That's why I took it as kind of like a performance, like I said. That's what it felt like to me. Like she was trying to throw them off the scent and have them think it was this guy. Like she was like kind of like what you said. Like she is so badly beaten and broken down that she's just got like no more fight left in her. But at the same time, she doesn't want to be like, yeah, that's him, kind of a thing. So she just kind of like,
Yeah.
that's the way I took
Sleeping
it.
in
That's
the
all
row.
I got. But I don't know. I don't think Bix is. I don't know. I'd be surprised if all of a sudden she was just like, no, that's not him. He's blonde hair, he's blue-eyed, he's like 5'11".
Yeah,
He
right.
looks
Still
like
resisting.
fucking Skarsgård.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ever seen Dune?
Exactly. How about Thor? No? You guys gotta like Thor. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's what I said. I didn't even have any other interpretation, but
That's a pretty hilarious Bix impression. Hey, Dune. You ever seen Dune, guy?
have you ever seen Thor?
Hey, kid.
Oh shit! I think her character is gonna have a bigger role to play in season 2. I have to imagine. I thought she was gonna be a bigger character in this season, but she has not done very much at all.
Yeah, I think Mitz was probably on his prediction early on that she's gonna die before this series is over, at least.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Or maybe that
Yeah,
was Nick,
he
I
is
don't know.
No, that was Seth. I think he's spot on.
But I hope it's not yet. Hopefully, she's got some.
The fact that I think she's gonna die almost makes me feel like I think that she would be like more of a player, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
obviously
she-
we know
she
she's
hasn't-
gonna survive, so it's like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know what
Maybe
I'm
she
saying?
tells a lie about the whole Krieger thing and they find out, and that's how she dies.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like they need to use her more. She needs to be more significant. First.
Yeah.
Her and Andor has some unfinished business, maybe. But
She was like fucking third build on the show. It was like Cassian, Skarsgård, and then her. It's like, what the fuck? What's she
Yeah.
doing? She ain't doing nothing.
I bet she's coming back.
I think so.
Reunited.
We go to Mommy Montha. Vel's gonna pay a visit to her cousin. And actually, I have a question. Another one about this scene. Oh shit! Camera went out real quick. I got a question about this scene too that maybe Seth can answer for me. We'll see in a second.
Let's try it.
Yeah, no, it always does the same.
so tired of this storyline.
I am as well.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're replaying something on this one.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Holla, 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 holla.
Like, how many episodes is it now where she can't move credits? Like, since the Aldani heist?
Yeah. Oh, it's been since.
So is it that was what?
Episode
6?
Right, you'd hope it's only like a day or two for her, otherwise she just sucks at her job.
Yeah, right. Like
how much time is passing here?
You're not this no name. Like, you're a huge part of the Rebel Alliance. Like, figure it out, sweetheart.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah, hopefully it's only been
Come
a day
on,
or two.
figure it out, sweetheart.
Over and over and over.
Maybe it's only been a day or two.
But the question I had, so Vel, she's visiting Mom Martha. We're at her place, kind of a thing, and they're overlooking this class, right? It's like all these kids are in this class. Mom Martha's kid is in there. It's very culty. That's what I was saying. Is this like an empire thing, or is this something? Is this a religion?
I don't know what the hell it is.
You didn't know either. All right.
No.
I was very curious about that. I was like, is this like a pro-empire brainwashing kind of academy little thing for these kids in the area? Is this something totally different?
Because there's no real
religion in Star Wars.
Yeah, because there's no real, like, you don't see like religion or any like, you know, like cult stuff in Star Wars.
Right.
Not in terms of that.
Aside from the Sith.
Right, but it's still it's not
yeah.
it's not like they're not in a fucking circle like one of us like you know there's none of that. So like that was
true.
All they needed was like the fucking Satan like star thing and some candles lit around it.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I was very curious.
Trying to draw some Force Ghosts in or something.
For real.
Mom Mothma was taking all the stakes to get these credits moved around. They're like, yeah, we got to get our daughter involved in some seances or something.
Right.
I don't know what it was, but I don't like the storyline. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Yeah, no,
like, I'm over it.
That part of it just kind of made me curious because even Vel was just like, oh, I'm surprised you're kind of allowing this sort of thing. And she was like, the Empire. But that's what I felt like she was like, it's like the Empire is like taking its grasp. It's almost like, that's why I thought it was Imperial.
To me, I thought it might have been related to, they've kind of referenced their weird culture on that planet that she was raised on. Yeah. And how she just like doesn't agree with like the traditional stuff. And
that might be right.
I think it's maybe some, I don't know, whether it's their actual religion or it's some, I don't know, more traditional thing that they're kind of reviving. I don't know, but it seems like they were also taught the same stuff when they were younger, but they didn't like love it like her daughter is for some reason.
Yeah, that was kind of my other thought. If it wasn't Imperial, that it was something like that.
It could be Imperial too, but it seems like you said that Vel and Mama we're relating to each other. We're relating to each other about it. So it seemed like it was maybe more about their own childhood more than anything else.
That is a good call.
The daughter sucks too.
Yeah,
God.
we find out that the sister. I mean, the sister. Jesus Christ, the daughter is very like devout to whatever this is.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything behind
she's
it.
always on time for every class. She is reciting all these like cult, like whatever it is, prayers, fucking orders,
potion,
laws.
whatever.
I don't even know. She's drinking the Kool-Aid strong, or whatever it is.
Between that and being her father's protege, she really sucks.
Yeah, true, for real.
Yeah.
But Mon Moth is basically going to tell Vel just all about her money issues and all that shit. She tells her everything, everything that we've basically seen up to this point about was it Tay there and stuff like that. And she basically at the end she's like, she starts kind of tearing up and she's like, I found the solution. She's looking at her daughter and stuff. So it seems like that gangster who was in the show for the first time last episode, who gave her, she's like, hey, I'll take care of your 400,000 credits kind of a thing. I don't even want any payment back. Just want my son to basically meet your daughter kind of a thing. Seems like she's going to be taking up that offer.
Some like Game of Thrones shit right there.
Yeah.
Offering up marriage for
betrothals.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell she hates it though. Like I said, she's getting like kind of teary-eyed.
Yeah, and she knows that she can't, as much as it is like a long storyline that it doesn't really pique my interest, like she knows she can't do anything to fuck up what Luthen's doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like she doesn't want to make any rash decisions that's going to fuck that up. So she's kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place right now.
Right.
Not much she can do, but like I said, I'm just tired of every scene is her explaining that she's in a rock. Like, I know you're in a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
For 5 episodes.
Make some progress, lady.
Right. Like, what are we going to do about it to fix it? We know.
Well, like I said, let's have the Empire finally come a knocking and something comes of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She finally like takes a stand and like, I don't know, blast a fucking trooper or some shit like that and has to go full rebel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like something has to happen in this show because nothing happens in this show.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Nothing happens in the show.
Just
Sorry.
with the story,
It's been
man.
going on for so long now. It's feel like the show's been on for my entire life, man. My God.
Just with the story. This storyline just does nothing for me.
Nick likes 2 6-episode seasons, apparently.
yeah.
And character development.
I don't know.
That's too much.
I don't know, man.
Character development, but not full development.
I
Somewhere
said
in the
it was
middle.
development. There was just no purpose to it. What's the point? If there's no point,
Only
let's
if
just
they-
kill these motherfuckers.
Only if they die well.
My God. We don't see him die. I'm not going back. I'm not backtracking.
No,
I'm not
please, let's not do
backtracking.
this.
I'm
Let's
not
not
backtracking. That
I'm
movie
just,
is not
I'm just,
that good.
I'm just rounding you up.
I'll never watch it again. I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to watching Don't Worry Darling again. That one's at least in high school to watch that again. Oh my God. Regardless, let's not fucking back off. But like I said, Mon Martha, she's like all teary eyed. It seems like she's gonna take this deal to basically wed off her daughter.
Yep.
So we'll probably have to.
And then the way her
go
daughter
back
comes
next
in
week.
too and sees I can't think of the other person's name. Like the waif.
Vel?
Yeah, Vel, sorry. Like she comes in, is all excited to see Vel, and then immediately
yeah.
looks over at her mom and like the smile just goes away. Like she fucking hates her mom.
She does.
Like
She does.
like that smile just went away like that.
Yeah.
And then like makes eye contact again with Vel and is right back to smiling. And this, that, the other. Like that's been a thing that they've harped on for a while. I still don't really know what it is, but she fucking hates Mon Mothma.
She smells the rebel on her.
It seems like I said, her dad's talking shit about her mom, too.
Probably, yeah.
He's on to her
influence
shit.
with that.
He obviously resents that Mama Martha is such a boss and like is the head of the family.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I don't know. It's all
Little
weird.
husband syndrome.
Yeah, like the time that she like asked her to be dismissed from the party or whatever, she came straight over from her dad and like he
Yeah.
told her to do it in a very strange way and like
Right.
I don't know. It's all weird.
Something's still up there.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on.
She don't like her mom.
with her daughter.
That's all I know.
She's probably like 16 or whatever too, right? Or have they said her age?
I think the boy was 13 and she's 14. I thought it was supposed to be.
So I mean that's
Boy,
close to like having some power in the Senate.
Yeah.
Right for
Oh,
these people.
yeah, especially in Star Wars.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Mama Martha's 16. She was married
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Senate,
yeah.
right?
Recruited the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good call.
she's basically an adult.
True that. From there we go to what is my favorite storyline, just because it gives me the only feelings, the sitcom vibe. But we go to my boy Ramsey Bolin. He's sleeping at home. He's still sleeping at mom's house. He's crashed out. Middle of the night, mom comes in. Ramsey, wake up! You got a call. I was like, all right, there we go. This is my guy. Let's get him on. He was such a big character at the beginning of the show too, and now he gets like 3 minutes an episode.
Fell off
Fucking
big time.
bums me out. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, man, more Ramsey. But he goes and he answers the call, and it's another character we haven't seen in a while, Sergeant Mosk.
Sergeant Milsk.
Sergeant Mosk. I like this guy. He was funny too. I enjoyed this guy. Another guy I liked, and they kind of got rid of him. Likeable characters in this show. They fucking just kicked to the side. He's still at Morlano 1, and he just kind of gives Ramsey the update that Marva passed away, and that Cassian, good chance he might show up at Phoenix for the funeral. So if he's still trying to catch him, now's a good chance.
Yeah. I love that the communication goes down to like all of a sudden, like there's multiple times in this episode, like people's communication
Yeah.
links don't work all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's actually a good call. 'Cause that's what I was when I said I liked this scene because it was like sitcom. That's a perfect example of that's what I meant. At least like that was at least a little funny to me. Like they're doing the typical call thing. Like they're just completely misspoken. One can't hear the other
Yeah.
one. Like that's what I'm saying, sir. It's like what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like that shit. At
Like,
least
where's
I
Andor?
got a
And then
little
just breaks
crackle
up.
out of me. You know what I mean? I got a little ha 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 ha. That was good. That was funny.
Yeah.
But it's funny that all of a sudden, like I said, everybody's comm links stop working.
Shit the
They
bed.
get disconnected.
It gets like a 10% joke, and he's like, "There it is."
Yeah, for real, exactly. Yeah, there's something. I like it.
Been waiting for this.
He thought he said something else, but he really said this.
Yeah, the guy from Family Guy right away. He says it's nice outside when it is raining outside.
This is funny.
Early fucking Family Guy is some of the funny shit that's ever happened in all time. Man.
Get it?
Oh fuck. But we see Ram. All right, I don't know how he's gonna get the Fennec. So what he's gonna do? Go by himself? He's gonna go track down Cassian by himself. He doesn't seem like much of a hands-on kind of guard. You know what I mean? He doesn't have. Any
Can't imagine
squad.
he's getting there on his own.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I think he's going to battle uphill for him.
Yep.
We go to Andor, and he makes a quick pit stop back at South Beach of Star Wars there in the Amos. And we saw it a couple of episodes ago, right before he got basically arrested. But he was able to stash up in his hotel room, basically a little box, had some blasters and some money in there. So he was able to sneak in. There was an alien sleeping in his hotel room, so I guess the
snoring was
there's a point
hilarious.
for a fucking, yeah.
Yeah, like the tentacles when he was snoring, like going up and down.
He's still talking about I need something. I'll take what I can get.
Potential alien sex. Let's go.
Potential aliens.
Implied. Come on.
Yeah, for real. If we're gonna go friggin' political show, let's go the full Game of Thrones wheel here. Let's not get some alien sex going on. Let's get weird.
Let's get some James Cameron naked aliens.
Yeah.
But like I said, Andor's able to grab his shit from Niamos, and let's see where he's off to next. We go to Luthen, and he has arrived on planet where we've seen him arrive once before. It is Saw Gerrera's little hideout. He's meeting with Saw again.
Love
From
this
the
scene.
last time we saw Saw, he's had a big turnaround, 180 from the last time we saw him. Luthen handed him this deal. All he had to do was provide air support for this mission. Now he's like, yo, all right, like tell me the place where we gotta go. Has a couple little of his own little like additions to the contract, if you will, his own terms. You know what I mean? But nothing too crazy.
No.
But he's all for it. He's like, I'm in now, kind of a thing. Let's do this deal. And Luthen's like, no. And Saw's
Hold
like,
up.
Yeah, what the fuck? What do you mean, why? And he's like, the Empire knows what's gonna happen. Saw's stunned. He's like, can't believe it. He's just like, what the fuck? Like, do they know? Like, they're just walking into the suicide mission, you know what I mean? And,
Or like, what else did they know?
Right.
I think is what he's more about.
Yeah. And Saw kind of starts sniffing it out, too, on him. He's just like, why, you're willing to just sacrifice these guys for what? Like, you either got to be working for the Empire, or you got someone working on the inside who you don't want to sacrifice.
Yep.
So he's like, all right, but he's a smart guy. You can tell he's able to sniff all that out. But then, as soon as he's able to sniff all that out, his paranoia then kind of settles right
Kind
in.
of trumps it, yeah.
If he's like, all right, if you got men on the inside of the Empire, he's like, you got men fucking watching me, kind of a thing. So I was looking around, like, who is it?
Yeah.
Who you got watching me?
Right.
Which this part I did like a lot. Luthen just like looks around. The first guy he sees, he's like, it's this Tubes guy over here.
Yeah.
Tubes is like, yo, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
That part I thought was good.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah,
for alien.
he's been telling me the whole thing the whole time. Like, it's been him this whole entire time.
Yeah. Tell him.
Was
And
he actually, do you think?
No, he lures him in because he knows almost the guy's gonna act aggressively, so he starts coming towards him, and as soon as he comes towards him, grabs the blaster and gets Saw like at gunpoint kind of a thing.
Okay. I thought that was him, like, finalizing that he didn't have to cover up his identity anymore or something. I don't know. No, you guys are probably right.
I think it was just more of, like I said, him getting the gun.
Yeah, because he'd already been
kinda-
disarmed.
I wanted it to
when
be
he
more
got there.
badass. I wanted it to be like this.
I mean,
guy
it was
also
genius.
such a good undercover that he like held it up until the second that he's like, all right, you can actually show me. Or you can actually unveil yourself now. No.
I like this. Honestly, I like this reaction when he saw it. Like Luthen literally like steals his gun, like pockets him right out of his holster, and puts it like to Saw's neck, basically.
Yeah.
And the dude, the alien, kind of
that's
almost
cool,
like
too.
lets out,
I like
kind of
that.
almost like an oh shit, like
Yeah.
fuck, I
I
messed
misunderstood
up.
that, but that's just as cool. I like
Shouldn't
that.
have done that.
Yeah, he's like, damn, I walked right into his trap.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But then this part was where the scene kind of almost cranks up a little bit now. Like this is where Luthen's like, you could go tell the Empire, or we can let this happen. We can keep them exactly where we want them, which is kind of oblivious a little bit, and they'll be totally more vulnerable to a strike this way. And Saw's just like, all right, I get it. What does he say? He says a good line. He goes, for the greater good.
Yeah. I love that they keep mentioning 30 men and Krieger. Like they said it like numerous times too.
Yeah.
So they know Krieger's like still was a very valuable part of this whole plan, but now that the gig's up, like
Gotta sacrifice.
like he's gotta go. Like
Yeah.
sorry.
Gotta do what we gotta do. Like you mentioned
Yeah.
a few times, the rebellion is gonna get a little dirty.
They do some dark shit along the way to get to what they need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Krieger was important. Like I said, I thought it was just a nice little interesting way they said it. Like it was numerous times they were like 30 men and the other guy was plus Krieger.
Yeah. I liked also it's Saw that says for the greater good. Oh yeah, go ahead. It's Saw that says for the greater good, and then Luthen's like, I wouldn't necessarily like put it that way. And then Saw has a good line. He goes,
however way you want to put it.
yeah, let's call it war.
Whatever word you want to use. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call it war. And I was just like, word. Yeah. But right away, as soon as I saw that, I straight up, I thought of you right away. And I was like, yeah, that's what Seth was saying about the getting your hands a little bit dirty. It's not a rebellion for no reason.
Yeah. It's not like they can just rescue anybody. Like there's still the end game to be played. So you got to stay on track with that, regardless of like who gets caught or what you have to do along the way. You know,
It's true. That's right. No,
no
one man is too good. Too big a price.
Right.
Too big a cause.
And Saw's emotions, like after he calms down, he figures it out.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
He does have that paranoid feeling at first,
Which
and
is
then
funny. That was very
right. He's like, who else is in? Like, could it be somebody in here?
Because
like,
he sniffs it out. Like, you could tell he's smart. You know, like you said, he's able to. He's like, unless you're. At first thing he says is the Empire thing. He's like, unless you've got somebody on the inside. And then as soon as he hears that, like, it's all of a sudden like, you got someone here too, you motherfucker.
But then, like, if he calms down after that, and listens to Luther a little bit more. Now he's like, you could tell he's attached to Kruger, but still more about the end game.
A lot of paranoia going on, right?
Yeah.
Now. You don't know who you can trust.
For sure. That's the thing, especially now too, that like he now knows that Luthen has somebody on the inside.
That's true.
And he's not going to give him up.
Luthen said a good point too. He was like, if I was working for the Empire, then why wouldn't I just let you be a part of this deal and let you go provide the air support?
Right.
I would take care of you.
Yeah.
I would get the payment and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, good point.
Just came down to the insider from the Empire is more valuable than Kruger and these men.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Which we'll see. It would be fucking awful if all of a sudden like Deidre sniffs this guy out before he can make a real player or something.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
That would be a bad sacrifice.
Yep.
We go back to Ramsey real quick, and we see that he is doing a little sneaking around in the middle of the night. He's going to go into his mama's safe, and he's going to steal some of her credits. We're assuming to get off world
Get
and
the
get
hell
over
out
to
of
Phoenix.
there. About time, dude.
Yeah, let's see what he's going to do in the finale. But I mean, like I said, I don't know what the hell he's going to do by himself because he's not much of like a fucking military man. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to need some muscle.
Right. I was saying if he goes up against Cassian or something like that, he's just going to get his ass beat.
That's a good way to tie in a bounty hunter. Go pay a bounty. Go pay a bounty hunter.
Yeah, let's do something Star Warsy.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Get a bounty hunter, track down. This is what I know about Cassian. Track him down, bring him back. X amount of credits dead, more alive.
Yeah, his mom's funeral is about to be happening
right.
on this planet.
Yeah, there you go too. You know that too right now. So yeah,
fucking yeah, it's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Just give me something.
Be a good way to tie in what you were saying.
Or he's like, fucking, you're the man. I want to work for you.
Yeah. They're probably going to be careful not to make it too Mando/Boba like, though. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Yeah.
2 back-to-back shows.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But if they could use all their ammo on one show, but they're trying to turn it into 50 shows, so they're not, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, they're clearly spreading the world is very big right now. They're trying to expand Star Wars, which I think is the right move because it is so huge. This vast galaxy, thousands of planets and shit. But like I keep saying, it's still gotta be Star Wars. We can tell different stories. They just gotta still feel like Star Wars. You know what I mean? I want to feel like I'm in Star Wars.
Yeah, tie it in a little bit more.
Yeah. We go to Luthen now that he's done with Saw. And we kind of mentioned this scene a little bit. He's going to make a call to his assistant. And she's basically telling Luthen that he should come home. And Luthen's very probably like just focused on Cassian. They talk in code the whole conversation, which I thought was, cool. I liked that whole thing. But you can tell that's where his focus is. Like it's the priest they say, is the item. He's talking about from like a spying goods for the store kind of a thing. Is the item still available from the buyers?
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, it's still available. And he's just like, all right, well, we should move on it before someone else tries to buy it.
Yeah.
But you can just, we said he's very focused on finding Cassian. He wants to tie off that bow. He feels like he's left a little breadcrumb out there for him to find him. So he wants to take care of it.
Especially with Kruger dying, too.
True. Let's see if it happens in the fucking finale. I mean, there's got to be something. We only have one episode left.
Yeah.
This did not feel like
one.
a penultimate episode.
Yeah, no.
Not at all.
No, it was, more setup.
Maybe
because it's just a 2-season thing. Maybe this is the most buildy episode.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot on the table for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one's gonna be fucking 18 episodes long. Go back to the fucking CW days.
Yeah, beyond until the 2030s.
Oh man, I just it's like TV has changed a lot, man, over the last even just like 15 years because of streaming and stuff. I mean, rarely do you see shows that are over like. I feel like 10 is almost like the maximum now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
8, 10. If you're gonna do 12, it's like you better fucking grip your audience. I feel like.
I want to say it was like Friday Night Lights. Maybe has like 20 something per season.
Oh yeah, back in the day,
a lot of
dude,
those.
shows used to be real fucking.
Lost is 20 something per season too. Like
You mentioned Lost actually earlier. I wanted to mention that the first 2 seasons of Lost are some of the best television of all time. You can put it right up there with any like 2 seasons really of anything, and you can make the argument for it. After that, for me, it falls off so hard. It's unbelievable.
yeah, they I don't think they had the whole story planned. They weren't planning on doing it for 7 seasons.
So you get 54 minutes.
54. So you're looking at like pretty much looking at like a 50, pretty much 50
same.
flat.
A little bit extra from the other
Plus
ones.
more, yeah. Plus more too that I'll get into later. But anyways.
All right.
It wasn't Lost James Cameron or someone like him?
I don't think James Cameron was tied to Lost.
No. Someone like him.
I think someone. I do think you're right.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
I think Michael Bay.
That could be right. Yeah, that could be right.
I don't know. I think it is Michael Bay, but
Yeah, you'd have to look that one up.
Something like
I don't
that.
think it's James Cameron though.
yeah.
But yeah, no,
J.J.
so.
Abrams.
J.J.
J.J.
Abrams. There you go.
Abrams,
Yep.
that's
There
it.
you go. There you go. There it is.
Mixture between
Similar guys. Similar guys.
James
Similar
Cameron
guys.
and Michael
It's like a formula. This guy plus this guy. equals
Yeah. What are those name
Basically.
games? So like I said, we go to Luthen, his assistant. They have this little kind of back and forth. What Luthen's going to do, his next move, if he's going to go back to home planet or if he's going to pursue Cassian. And their call gets just like cut off. All of a sudden, it kind of just goes blank, static, and you're like, oh fuck, like what's going on here? And we see that Luthen, while he's out in space, there's a big ass Imperial ship just right on his ass.
Yep.
The guy must not looked in his rearview mirror for a grip. So all of a sudden, this guy was just right there. He's like, oh shit, like, the Empire's here. And he's trying to play it cool. They like turn on their little tractor beams. They can kind of like lock him into place so he can't kind of get away. They're like scanning his IDs and shit. This was a cool little scene though. I liked. He's like getting his engines all ready to try and make an escape and shit like that. The Empire starts to realize that they might have caught a fish. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, let's get ready. Let's get a boarding party ready. This guy, while he's playing it cool, he's up to no good.
Right. He had
And
like
then,
a fake license number and like,
Yeah.
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 Outer on 2104.
basically just to buy himself like 40 seconds.
Yeah. Just get the engines ready.
Yep.
And then the guns that he pulls out of the ship, I thought were really cool. Those
Yeah, that thing that blew up the satellite or
Yeah,
whatever, like
yeah.
the little, it was like
a bunch of
pellets or whatever you want to call it,
like
and just
needle fucking blades.
like ripped into it.
Yeah, might
Yeah.
be like a fucking like a needler in Halo or some
Yeah.
shit. A porcupine, just fucking.
Yeah. The scene too with the lid, like the favorite scene in the whole episode was like the lasers pointing
Oh,
out.
that
He
was
does the
pretty cool.
flip and it cuts the shit.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like because
yeah.
we knew, or like way earlier on, like he's clearly like a demolition expert.
Yeah.
Like towards the beginning of the season, like now we're finding out like now he's how high up of a pilot too.
Oh yeah, for
Like-
sure. Yeah, and you can tell his ship's got some tricks to it because the Empire guards are kind of like even kind of almost talking shit about like just this little
Yeah.
pirate ship kind of thing.
Yep.
But he's able to blow out that tracker beam with those fucking needly things.
He did that and then jumped right into hyperspace. I was like, wow, that was awesome.
Took down the two TIE fighters with just regular guns, and then like you mentioned that cool ass laser beam fucking thing that shot around his whole ship.
Yeah.
Took out the other two. Took out full of TIE fighters and fucking.
Do we ever see that kind of technology anywhere else? Like that seems like it's lightsabers to me.
Almost, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like he had 2 40-foot lightsabers coming out of his
I instantly thought of like
ship.
all the spy movies where they're like trying to get into like a vault or something like that. You know what I mean? And they have like the lasers so that they can't trip to get into the vault.
Yeah. I mean, are there any
I think
other
you- I
weapons
think
that
you-
have sustained lasers like that? in
I think
Star
you
Wars?
might have seen it in like closer to like the Clone Wars with like the droid ships.
Oh, all right,
I think
that makes
we're
sense.
like kind of laser.
Sustained,
You
like,
never really saw like
burn
laser
and-
like
yeah.
cutter like.
That's
Yeah.
what those were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things straight up.
And I'm trying to think too. I think Jango Fett's like Slave 1 might have it too. Jango Fett's ship.
All right.
Those fucking.
But I know he has
Might
a lot
be
more.
Kyber
Like, he does
crystal
like the
based, so-
cyber, like the sonic, like boom. Like I remember, like the sonic boom.
Yeah,
where it cuts through the asteroids.
That was fucking sick.
Yeah, like
Those
that's
sonic
more of
bombs
that.
he drops,
So I don't know if
those
he
are
has the lasers,
sick.
but yeah,
That was one of my favorite parts of that last season of
it
Mando.
cuts through the asteroid field and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what he uses.
That shit was dope.
But yeah, I think it's just more of you just see it in like with the droid army. So like way back in the day.
That would make sense. That seems like their kind of technology, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the.
And you got to figure too. He's got like the Gungan shield, so you know he goes way back in terms of.
That's what I was going to
And
say.
having the
He gave
technology.
Cassian a kyber crystal already. He
Yeah.
could easily have 50 of those.
Yeah.
Like do some crazy.
I love this,
Which is what gave the Death Star its power to blow up shit, right?
Right.
That's
That-
got to be.
that's a
what
big
powers
version of
probably
what he
those
used,
lasers.
basically.
Yeah,
The
yeah, that's
lightsabers.
good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good call.
Basically.
That's probably exactly what that is.
I love this Luthen
Smaller
character.
version.
I think he's my favorite character in the whole series.
Yeah,
I mean,
season
yeah.
one for me.
focuses on him now for sure.
I mean, I kind of half jokingly say it. Like, I mean, I do and I don't. Like, he's a small character. Ramsey's my favorite character. But then right after that,
You don't even know his real name.
Civil.
That's
Let's go, baby.
Definitely an S. Yeah.
Let's go, baby. I know my guy. Don't get twisted, man. I know my boy.
That's
I
what his
love
name
Ramsey.
sounds like. Isn't it something else?
I think it's Civil.
It's Cyril? I thought it was
Cyril. Oh, it could be an R in there. There could be an R in there.
Cyril. And he had some
That's
last
why
name that
R.I.L.
he's referred to at the beginning too.
Yeah, it could be. You could be right. It could be an R in there.
Yeah.
You could be right.
We'll go
I
with
was
Ramsey.
close. I was close.
We'll go with Ramsey.
Yeah,
We'll
Ramsey fucking. He's the second incarnation of Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah.
Ramsey died in the battlefield in a terrible way and then came back in this awesome show. Actually, no. You know what? They ended up feeding him to the wolves. That's right. I always forget that. Like
Eaten by
Jon
his
Snow
own
didn't beat him to
hungry
death 'cause
dogs.
That was terrible. But the dogs was better. That was a very cool scene, like we said, with the lasers, and then he jumps right to hyperdrive,
Yeah,
blows
awesome.
these guys right out of the water. Very, very cool.
Luther's
scene. I really like
badass.
this. Yeah, he is. He is. And then we go to our closing scene for the episode. We don't know where he's calling from. We don't know if he's still on that South Beach planet or if he's somewhere in space or something. But he's going to call, Cassian is going to call to Fennec, and he's going to talk to that same operator that we saw him talk to earlier when he was trying to get off world. I thought he was like a ticket taker at first. It seemed like he worked on training or
Yeah,
something like that.
right.
But it seems like he's working calls too. I don't know what job this guy's got.
Hustling.
Yeah, for real. Working 2 times. I don't know. Part time here, part time there. It's tough life on Fennec. But Cassian's basically just gonna say, "Hey, like I need you to get a message to my mother Martha. Just tell her that I'm okay. I'm all right. I know it's been a while since she's heard from me, and I'm gonna be coming as soon as I can. To come and see her." And he's unfortunately gonna be the one that breaks the news that Marv has passed away. Cassian obviously very upset. Hangs up the phone. Can't tell Melshi about it though. He's just like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. No worries. Can't even tell him."
But this is what bothered me is that wouldn't you think it'd be a little bit more, I don't know, like if emotional would be the right
thought
word,
so.
but wouldn't you think it'd be a little bit more emotional if he like got to Fennec and still like wasn't sure what was going on, like got back to Fennec, went to go see his mom, and then he like found out through the town, like he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" Like if he sees like a funeral and like then he finds out. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of like not cheesy, but yeah, it was just kind of like the way he found out. I just think they could have done it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think if they would have had him fly in and like, "Oh, what the hell's like, what's going on? Like, what's this?" Obviously, he sees a commotion or whatever, and then he finds out that it's a funeral and who it's for. I don't know. It like kind of, I didn't really like it too much that they were just like, "Oh, your mom's dead." So like, "Oh, I didn't tell you, like your mom's dead. It's over the phone."
Yeah, and this guy was just introduced this episode, right? The guy that told him.
I think he was in one. No, I think he was in once before. I think he was like I said, he was almost like
The mechanic guy, or
seemed almost like a ticket taker when Cassian was trying to get off of Fennec. Like after, I think it's episode 2.
okay.
Before the shootout in episode 3. I think it's episode 2. One of the throwaway episodes. I'm pretty sure. I think he's asking him like how many credits it would take to get like off world. That he even mentions that he needs to do it without being,
giving
like,
any
tracked.
information.
Right? Yeah, exactly. How much would that cost? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So he was only in it for like 1 of the second. I assumed it was the same guy, especially because the way
makes sense.
Cassian talked to him, he had talked to him like they had talked before.
Yeah, that would make sense. I couldn't figure out who it might be, but that's
That's
a
he
likely
even like
one.
said Cassian. He's like, no names.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they
I
had definitely communicated with
I just think it could have been a little bit more emotional if they did it a little bit.
I think he could have been a little bit more emotional. Even if it was on the phone.
Like, he
could have just been a little bit more fucking...
I guess he kind of couldn't. You know what I mean?
guess.
Like, to not kind of play his cards to Melshi, but I don't know. I think if they would have did it a little bit better. The only way I could think of was, like I said, is him showing up on Fennec and finding out that way.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just, I don't know, the fact that he found out over the phone.
All right. From there, though, like I said, he's not going to tell Melshi what happened. He's like, yeah, everything's good. And then Melshi's going to be like, all right, we might have been the only people that actually made the swim from the fucking middle of the
Which
ocean
is gnarly.
to the beaches or whatever, wherever we got to. So it's on us to kind of tell everyone what's going on here. We should split up. Never a good idea. Any horror movie, never a good idea to split up. Don't do that. But he's like, let's split up, double our odds.
Take this. Get out of here.
We gotta be able to. We gotta tell somebody what's going on here.
Yep.
Yeah, spread the word.
And Andor's just like, yeah, all right, cool, sounds good. And that's basically how the episode ends. They split up. Andor finds out Mom has passed.
Yep.
You have to imagine he's on his way to Phoenix. I would have to guess.
But I don't want that to be the finale. Like
That seems
you know
like
what I
it's
mean?
gonna be,
Like,
yeah, I think it's
I'd
gonna be.
rather have him be in Phoenix now. I don't.
agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just feel like he escaped the prison, found out his mom's dead. I don't. It's not to say I don't really care where he goes from here, but I'd rather see the other storylines wrap up. Like what's Luthen's final thing?
You said too. I don't care where he goes. That's exactly I don't care about nothing in this show.
But it took me until this long. It was just this episode that made me feel this way. Like I'd rather see Luthen's story wrap up.
I mean, wouldn't you like to see Cassian like fully join the rebellion? Like he's been kind of building towards that.
If that's his next, if his next thing is him like reconnecting with Luthen, or if he meets Saw Gerrera, like then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But I just think there's a lot of other storylines
I mean,
that I'd rather see wrapped up rather than what's Andor up to next.
Yeah, I mean that's where it's gonna go, right? Because that's what Marva was all about, was the rebellion, and that's what she dedicated her life to in the last moments. And
That's a good point. Yeah, her passing might really be a little bit extra push for him.
yeah, we'll see if he actually goes to visit the funeral or what. But I feel like he's at least gonna fully join. I don't know if that means he's gonna go see Luthen now, or if he's gonna meet Mon Mothma, or who it's gonna be. But
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Vel,
a lot of things to tie up in the last episode.
Yeah, I think that's what it'll be. He obviously is fully in by the end of season 2 when it's Rogue One time.
Yeah.
He's like a champion of the people. At that point,
the thing I was looking at too is so at the end of the finale, you get a post-credit scene.
Okay, that's always interesting.
So I'm interested to see. That's where I think like we were talking about the Emperor or something a little bit more Star Wars. Like if it's anything like how Marvel is, you got to figure Star Wars never does post-credit scenes.
That's true.
So you got to figure the first time that they're going to do it is going to be something big.
Yeah,
so if it's tying in, like if it's showing that the Emperor is going to be more involved in season 2. I don't know if we have any predictions, like how we feel about Star Wars using post-credit. I'm a sucker for post-credit scenes, regardless of what it is.
I agree.
Marvel,
I like
DC, Star Wars, like any movie. Yeah, like I'm a fan of the post-credit scenes. So I feel like if Star Wars is doing it for the first time, it's got to be something big.
It's like Ben Stiller and fucking Dodgeball. Fucking
right? Yeah, exactly. Fucking Chuck Norris.
fucking Chuck Norris. Yeah. You do it right, it's fucking great. You know what I mean? It's hysterical.
So I'm a little excited for that. Like I said, I think that's the way to tie in. That's the way to show that eventually, obviously, probably too late by season 1 for you to be satisfied with it. But I think they're going to use that to tie in somebody big for season 2. Probably the Emperor.
That would be good. That would be something. Like I said, to me, man, I feel like in the previous episodes, I've been pretty positive towards the show. I have mentioned before that they've been able to.
You flipped the switch bad.
And now, to me, at this point, like
you flipped the switch,
dude. I'm at my wit's end with the show. I really am. I feel like it's been going on for so long, and every episode, it's like nothing actually.
Is this how you felt the whole time, or was it just like you're just doing it for the podcast?
No,
so you're
it's
like
built up. It's like it's getting to the point where it's like, all right.
But you felt this way for a while, then like the last couple of weeks.
I think we've been talking him out of it for a couple of weeks.
I think that might be a good way to put it.
Is that what it is?
Because when we did the first 3 episodes, I was like, episode 2 was useless. I said that. I was like, we could have just cut episode 2. You could have taken like 8 minutes in that, put it in episode 1, take 8 minutes, put it in episode 3, cut episode 2. And then I felt the same way, I think, again, with 4, 5, and 6. It was like, all right, 4, 6, 5 is just useless. Like, get this thing out of here. And when it just keeps going on,
you had another one like that, you're like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like, we don't need this many filler episodes. This is like, it's boring. And like I said, it's not like fucking Mando filler episodes where at least we go do something fucking cool.
You're like, yay, Ice Spider. He fights the Ice
Spider.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's guns and blasters and fire and shit. At least
Baby Yoda's laughing.
Yeah, he's eating the eggs.
Doing
the fog's getting mad at him, chastising him and shit. Like, that's the reason of the day. Exactly, yeah. Call me a simpleton, but I need something, man. Fuck me. This is just, like I said, at first I thought we were doing the spy thrillery kind of thing. You know, he kills those 2 gods.
Yeah.
Dark, gritty kind of thing. Now to me, this is just politics. It's just like, I feel like that's all this is.
We just had a massive prison break.
No, that's where I lose what you're saying a little bit. Yeah. Like we just had the episode, or maybe it's just because the way people are reacting. Like I said, I feel like
definitely makes it worse.
For people to say this is the best thing that Star Wars has come out with in 40 years,
it's crazy.
You're reacting the other way.
It's crazy.
Slow your roll. So I think that's factoring in a little bit too.
Yeah. I mean, I continuously said though. I mean, the show it's got good aspects to it. It's well made, no doubt about it. I'm so.
So hey, so we know it's a 5 at least. Like they made it. So we know it's
worse
I'm
than
so happy that the next week's the
whatever that
last
fucking
episode.
movie is. Something, darling.
If you
Don't
say
Worry,
"Don't Worry,
Darling."
Darling" is better than this, I'll literally just get up and just leave from this podcast right
I
now.
think he likes it more.
Well, that's different. Okay, that's a different
Oh, my
conversation.
God.
This is a better score because it's better made, it's better quality, and all that. But I'll tell you one thing: Don't Worry, Darling got a lot more reaction out of me than this show's ever done.
my
This show makes me. I
God.
feel nothing. I've said it 5 times. I feel nothing when I watch this show. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm not excited. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I am not. I'm just flatlined. I'm just sitting there like,
Boo.
show is on. I'm watching it. There's Star Wars. Cool.
Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
Star
don't
Wars
know.
just because of the title.
I don't know, man.
It's a
I'm
show.
sad.
I don't think I'm gonna come back and be rewatching.
I'm
it
sad.
down the line. You know? I'm ready to get K2 back.
You flip the script.
I'm ready to get K2 back, and I'm ready to get fucking this finale done. I'm ready to get Ramsey onto something greener and better. Whether it's the Rebellion or the Empire, I don't care. I just want to see my boy.
He's like Cole in this. He's like how Cole
Oh,
was in
no,
House of
don't
Dragon.
say that.
Like just what a fall from
Yeah,
what a
that's
fall
true.
from grace
Yeah, I
that
do
guy
hear
was.
ya.
Thought he was gonna be a major character, and now he's just like you said, just a
Great
sim.
calling those flashbacks too. That was another one. I forgot all about
Yeah,
those fucking
that's a good
things.
call.
Talking about fucking things we can cut out of the show.
Yeah, the no translation flashbacks
Yeah.
What are they saying?
that they're never gonna come back on. They're gonna wait 9 episodes to come back to.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for Andor, though.
My heart can only take so much.
Yeah.
Is that all we got? Anything else?
You're breaking my heart,
I'm
Anakin.
excited. I think it's gonna be great. Last episode, and
We'll be back here next week for the,
I think
for the
it's
last one.
overall win. Unless they,
Huge win.
and if it's like this one again, that'd be terrible. I don't want
Agreed.
a meh finale. It needs to be as good as the big 3 we were talking about.
Yeah.
The escaping Ferrex and
Aldani,
and escaping the prison.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for Andor. We will be back with you guys next week. Would say Andor finale, some more 1899, some more White Lotus. On Friday, we have our Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special coming out. So I would like to.
Is that this Friday?
That's Friday.
Oh,
yeah,
no shit.
day after
Nice.
Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So I'd like to talk about that. I'm sure. And then you said, was it Glass Onion, right? Or was it Glass
Yeah,
Onion?
it says tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, is that theaters? Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, theaters tomorrow.
I wonder if they're doing a different release for Netflix. We'll have to check that out. But we got some homework for the week again, some things to check out.
Yep.
That's gonna wrap it up for us here tonight, I believe, right? Unless anyone's got any closings.
I'm good. I think we covered a lot.
We did. We certainly did. As always, please remember to share the show around to everybody. you
Sorry,
know,
real
friends,
quick.
Family.
December 23rd.
That's Netflix.
So it'll be a month out in theaters.
All right.
For a glass.
Fair enough. I might make a trip to the theater this weekend. I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, so I want to see that, and I want to see that Spielberg movie too. So.
Black Adam's probably next up for me.
Oh, you know what? That's right. We will talk, but we might be reviewing Black Adam
Yeah,
next week.
I'll try to squeeze that in.
Yeah. We have a lot of homework again, but I know I got some time off. I'm sure I'll be able to.
The
squeeze
grind
some
never
in.
stops.
Yeah, no doubt. So a lot to get to next week. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd like to check out Black Adam too now that we can get our hands on that. But as always, like I said, please remember to share the show around, family, friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe on the YouTube page. If you subscribe to the YouTube page, you get a free shot at winning a $40 gift card. You get to go see a movie on me. You get to get some candy, some popcorn on me. Take your freaking girlfriend on me. Do whatever you want to do. Take your boyfriend on me. Take your hubby, your spouse. Leave the kids at mom's house. Do whatever you want to do.
Take my mom.
That's right. Take Seth's mom. You know what I mean? Lori's a great time. She'd love to go to the movies. $40 AMC gift card. Subscribe to that YouTube page. Leave a comment. Leave a review. All of that stuff really does help. We're trying to get this show. We're trying to get bigger. We're not trying to get smaller. We want to expand. We want more eyeballs. We want to grow. And we're working hard here. So, help us out here. This is where we need you guys. But thank you to Mr. Luke Kleinen on the ones and twos.
Of course,
Couldn't have
brother.
done the show without you.
Of course.
To my co-host Moose.
Yep.
Thanks for coming again as always, buddy.
Thanks
Great
for having me.
episode.
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your
Watch
enjoy your family.
Watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles if you haven't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch Silver Linings if you haven't.
And Rocky.
Yeah. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody, and we will be back with you guys next week. Happy watching, huh?
Peace out.